Good morning, YouTube world. How is everybody today? Excuse me. Happy Monday. Well, if there is such a thing as a happy Monday, it is for me. I got to end at 8 o'clock on the nose today. Uh, I got work to do. Yeah, they call me the working man because it's what I am. Oh my. Anybody watch Masters yesterday? Hey, what's up, Jeff? How are you, buddy? And my eyes are goopy. But I don't watch golf really like all year, but I watch the Masters every year. When I was in the Army, I went to school in Fort Gordon, Georgia. Fort Gordon in Georgia, it's in Augusta, Georgia, and I got introduced to the Masters then. And I try to watch at least one round every year. In fact, I have watched at least one round every year since what 87, maybe 86, 87 there in that range. It was good. Yesterday was a good round. Yesterday the final round was pretty killer actually. Uh, it seen a lot of mess ups, Jody, and a lot of really good. It ended up having a playoff at the end, which is very cool. Here, Jody, I'll let you come up if you want to, honey. But anyway, I was actually working sort of and watching the Masters also. I found out I wasn't in no way, shape, or form ready to go back to work as far as being prepared with my software. I changed software. I had a new software provider, one that I had when I first started, which it's like the premier appraisal software. It's called A La Mode. And because it's the premier appraisal software, they charge like the premier appraisal software. So when I came back here and I wasn't doing, appraisals full time, morning, Rustic. I got a cheaper appraisal software because it didn't pay to have the more expensive ones. I wasn't doing that many appraisals, and then ended up not doing any at all, and that made it where I let it all just expire. So when I started to work again, I had to get my software again and everything like that. It's really weird that, and it didn't used to be this way, but now when you use someone's software, and I'm not real stoked on it. You're at home? Oh, okay. I thought you was on your way to work. I like my software that I just used before. All the reports I do, if I don't save them on my computer in PDF or whatever, well, I can't no longer access them unless I have their software. They're stored on their cloud thing or whatever, which I think is a bunch of shit. And the reason being, I'm supposed to keep my work file for 5 years after I do an appraisal. That way, if 2 years down the road someone decides that they're going to sue me because they didn't like my appraisal, I've got to be able to show all my work. You know what I mean? Well, how can I show them the original report if I can't access that software? So that's one I'd like to try in the courts sometime and say, hey, you've got to let me have access to my prior files, even though it's on your server or whatever. I don't know. Hey, good morning, J and J. And then I don't know if anybody's ever worked for themselves or whatever, but I have to carry what's called errors and omissions insurance, and it covers me if someone does sue me, for instance. That's what that software covers me for that. They provide the lawyer and go to court for me. Good morning, John. It's good to see you, buddy. And so they have a thing called prior acts or whatever. Okay, so if I buy say I buy your software this year, and I do an appraisal this year, and you cover me for that appraisal for this year, right? So wouldn't you be required to cover me on that appraisal until the 5 year time runs out? You see what I'm saying by that? But if you switch insurance or whatever. Well, they say, well, we don't cover those prior acts anymore. I'm like, wait a minute, you covered me at the time it was completed, then you should cover me for that one appraisal for the whole time. I don't know. But anyway, I argued with the errors and omissions insurance guy about that. I was like, you have prior coverage. I'm talking Bill Ruddock Outdoors Fishing this morning. What the heck's Bill Ruddock? I know I'm saying that last name wrong. Whoa! Looks like something from the 60s. I don't know what happened, Rusty, but you got a big swirly looking thing there, man. You want to come up and talk Bill whatever? Reddock, Reddoch, Reddock. I don't know. Am I saying that wrong? Probably am, ain't I? But anyway, they got a bunch of tutorials that you can watch on this software because it does a whole lot of stuff now I'd never done before. And learning how to use all that stuff it's a pretty big learning curve, actually. Wormhole, yeah. What happened, Rusty? But anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I got to do that report today. And the one I seen Thursday, I think it was, that report, I got to pull the comps and go take pictures of them back and get that report out today. Then I got the other one I seen Saturday that I've got to have in by Wednesday. What's up, Stuanya? Morning, buddy. So I got a pretty busy week so far, and hopefully some more work will come in. Wow.
Can you hear me, Buggy?
Yep. Sure
Okay,
can.
I had to fix it, and when I come in here, I didn't have none of my cam, chat, nothing on the bottom of the screen. I said, whoop, something ain't right.
Huh. Yep. And then when you turned it, it kind of like looked like something out of the 70s or whatever.
Yeah, it just it was all messed up. Well, good morning, everybody. All right.
But I think I'm getting a handle on it. I actually have that report started, but a lot of this stuff is like there's parts of the appraisal that it says the same thing on every one. You know what I mean? So you have a drop down box, you just click and it fills that in. Or else you make a template with all that stuff already in it and you save it. And then you just, when you start a new appraisal, you just use that template, just take a copy of it. So I got to go through and type all that stuff in the first time, though, because it's new software. And I'm talking a couple hours probably of typing crap in there. And it was so nice. I went to church yesterday morning, and it was so nice yesterday. It was really hard to make myself sitting here and do that. Why I watched the Masters also. It was a great final round of the Masters.
Come on, Abby. Come on.
Oh, wow. Here's a great article. Look at this. I didn't see this until just now. 92-year-old refuses to sell her home to the Masters golf course that spent $200 million on expansion. What's it say? Money ain't everything, she said. Oh, I dig it. 92-year-old has her house and they want to buy it. She's like, nope. Elizabeth Thacker has lived in the house for more than 60 years and raised her family here. Her daughter, Robin, said her mother is strong-willed. I can imagine that courtroom with 92-year-old women. I ain't selling you guys shit. That damn redneck go to damn Masters golf tournament. F you. The 92-year-old homeowner who lives less than a mile from the site of the Masters tournament refuses to sell her property, even as the golf course that hosts refuses to sell her property, even as the golf course that hosts it sought to expand. She lives in a 3-bedroom, single-story house on a 0.67-acre lot that was built in 1956, according to property records. It's a normal-looking home in a far from normal location, just outside the north gate of the Augusta Golf Course. Yeah, well, when she dies, her family's rich. Bottom line, they're like, "Yeah, give us $10 million, you can have it." Well, they just doxed her by giving out her address. Wow. I dig that. Let's see. The property was last valued at $338,000 in 2024. According to property records, median listing price is $215 according to Redfin. Oh, I gotta write that down. I gotta Google what's Redfin. Anybody ever heard of it? Redfin. That might be some kind of real estate listing thing that I can get free from. Justin
Good Lord.
National made
Hell's
Thacker
that?
multiple offers over the years above the home's estimated value, Thacker's daughter said, or told Fox Business. Still, the late Herman Thacker told NJ.com in 2017 that the couple was staying put because money wasn't anything anymore. But the couple, let me read that again. Still, the Herman that the couple was staying put because money ain't everything. There we go. Augusta National Golf Course has become a revered athletic landmark and hosts the biggest golf tournament in the world. Respect to win, blah, blah, blah. Tiger Woods, blah, blah, blah. They evidently ain't offered them enough money. I guarantee they throw a few thousand, $2 million at them. It's sold.
Like they gave me a freaking heart attack.
What was that?
Went over there to dump something in the trash. And damn raccoon jumped out of there.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me before, only it was a possum.
Yeah, I had a couple skipjack that was in the package. The package come open, it freezer burned them.
Oh,
So I
throw
throwed them
them
in
in
the
the
trash.
trash.
So the trash man hauled them off today, and I guess he pulled the trash bag.
I'll bet
And
he
man,
did.
I walked over there and he come up out there, looked at me, and I jumped back, and just looked at him.
I'll bet he did, man. No way.
He took off running. Like to freak me out. I was like,
I
and
bet
I
give
just
me a
had to.
heart.
I
It'd
started to
give me a
holler
heart
out,
attack. You kidding me?
but I guess
It,
thinking, I can't do that. I'm gonna bug his life. I can't do that. Scared the crap out of me. Oh well.
let's see. They spent $20 million over 20 years to grow its footprint by about 3/4. Through its buying frenzy, the golf club has targeted homes like that of Thacker's in her neighborhood, and many of them have sold their property to Augusta National. In 2018, one neighbor sold her her 3-bedroom ranch home, which was only an 11-minute walk from Thacker's home to the club for $1.1 million. There you go. The Thacker themselves sold another home they owned to Augusta for $1.2 million.
Morning, Jody. Today's
The property
James's
the club
birthday.
buys
Yep.
are mostly raised steps away from Thacker's home is an unpaid
John,
parking lot. Welcome visitors just outside the club's north gate.
every day's your birthday.
When was your birthday, John? I'm sorry, I didn't see that. It must be nice to turn 50.
Every single day.
Every day I'm going to be 50.
Ain't getting no older.
Man, happy birthday, 10th. Yeah, I didn't
10th.
know it
Well,
was your
happy.
birthday, man. We
Yep.
would have had a birthday show Friday had you said something.
Yep. Happy belated birthday there, John.
No, happy birthday next weekend to you, Jeff.
Well, we haven't been seeing him. He's been high rolling with the coach.
Oh, that's right. And got to hear all about Coach's new girlfriend. Which you know what happens he gets a girlfriend, don't you? Those 3 trips a year are going to be cut down to 1 before long. Wait and see. I'm just
That's for
saying it
sure.
happens. Jeff is the prize egg. Happy birthday. But anyway, that's what's going to happen today. I'm going to work on this report. I got to get in and pull the comps for it. It shouldn't be bad. This is
Well, happy
it's a
early birthday,
foreclosed
Jeff.
house, but it's in really decent shape for a foreclosed house. Let's see here. I gotta reply to this real quick.
Yep, that light over there is green. It's gonna go all the way around for you this time. Then I got 30 seconds to get across there.
Oh, is that one? Yeah, I hate when they do that. Then you know someone's already called and told them about it, and they still ain't come out and reprogram the thing. Because that's all they got to do is
Nah.
reprogram the box, and it'll equal it out.
Yeah, because you got like 5 minutes of red light, and then you got like you got about a minute and a half before that thing when it turns green. You got a minute and a half until when it turns red on you. It allows about 3 cars at a time go through there.
Oh, he's bringing her in July. That ought to be cool.
Well, yeah, Coach loves it down there.
Yeah,
He gonna introduce her to some bass fishing. He just said he's gonna introduce her to John.
that's the biggest part there. He's like, this is who I hang out with when I come down here.
Oh no, you ain't come back. Oh no.
Huh.
No, John's cool. She'll love him. Next time it'll be her wanting to say, "Hey, let's go back down there." Hey, look at her, it's green. I better go.
I don't know what the weather's going to be today. I haven't mowed. My inner tubes came from my lawnmower tires, and hopefully I'll get to put them on. My brother's wife that passed away, his wife, she's had this Harley chopper that he was building. She's had it for like 16 or 17 years now. I've been trying to get it from her forever because I know it's just sitting in their storage barn, going to waste probably. I guarantee you ain't nobody turned that motor over or put no oil in the cylinders or nothing. But
John says, "I'm very lovable."
yes, you are. But she called me the other day and asked me if I wanted to come and get that chopper, and there was like 5 or 6 totes full of parts in it. Are you kidding me? See, yep, that's it right there. It's all about who you have working for you. The realtor you got now is a hustler. He wants to make some money.
What'd she say?
She said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She says, "Buggy, I got a new realtor, and he listed my house Thursday. Had 3 showings yesterday and 1 for today. The one I fired only showed it to 1 person." Yeah. Hey, morning, Stan 3. How are you, buddy?
There's Stan 3.
Yeah, you have a good day.
What did he
too,
say?
man.
I can't read. He's headed to work. I'm headed to go fishing. Sucks to be you.
Oh, that's like a trump card, and that's not even funny. But anyway, I was going to go get it yesterday, but I forgot this report I had was due so soon, and I've got to get it out today. So I had to do them tutorials yesterday, so I would be ready. And we're going to go get it one day this week, which is I'm pretty stoked about.
Hey, still in you?
We're actually, I don't care about the chopper itself. The motor I want though, because the motor is the motor's a special motor. It was the guy that built it owned a little independent Harley shop here in town, and he was friends with the guys at S&S. Anyone who knows Harleys knows what S&S is. And the internals on that motor came from a motor they built to run at the Bonneville Salt Flats. And the parts in there were never actually put on the market for sale. And he knew them and told him what he was building. So they hooked him up on it. The crank, the cam, pistons, everything are experimental. They don't really have a number on them. But here's a picture of it. See if you can see it.
If you like your job, yeah, I can understand going in.
Yeah, ain't really no way to get a good look at it. There. That's a pretty decent one, but that's what it looks like right now. And all I want, I don't care. I'm going to sell that rolling chassis probably. I don't know what he was thinking. The bike, I'll show you what it was before he done that. Before he done that, it was a cool motorcycle. Let's see if I can find a picture of it somewhere. I just seen it the other day. And I'd love to take it back to how it was originally. Here it is.
Jody said I'm sick of working.
That's what it looked like originally. Oh, that was a bad motorcycle right there. It's a Paco frame and it was lowered. I could stand on the ground and I could stand on both feet on the ground and still
Oh,
and be
there's a deer
able to
right there.
sleep.
Boom, 2 deer. Boom.
Yeah, but it
Right here in the middle of nowhere.
the motor's a rocket ship, man. But and all that rolling chassis, the blue one, the rolling chassis, it's gone. He had a drug issue, and I'm sure when he took that motor out of it, he sold that whole blue rolling chassis. Probably traded it for drugs. Truth be told. So I'll never be able to get it back like that, but I'd sure love to get it. I may build a bobber out of it because there's a hardtail frame there also. I don't know what it goes to, but if it fits that motor, then I'll use that as my starting point. Next stop, breakfast break, work and break. That was me, man. I worked at a cable company, especially when I become a technician because we had kind of a sham job, but we'd be in the office at 8 o'clock. We'd all leave, and half of us would take off and cruise down to this restaurant and sit down and have breakfast for an hour. But yeah, so I'm pretty stoked to go pick it up. We're going to take it out to my buddies, but my best friend that owns this house, he's got my old garage from the old house. They moved it out to his house, and he got electric run out there and hasn't heated and stuff. So we're going to put it in there, and we'll figure out what to do with it after that. He's got a shovel head out there himself too. For those of you not familiar with Harleys, the shovel head is the one that came before the current Harley Davidson motors, which are the Evolution motors. The shovel heads were made out of cast iron. The Evolutions were made out of aluminum. Huge difference in the sound, in my opinion.
Morning, Rob Fox.
But I got that going for me, and I need to get some more work in and get it rolling so I can get a dumpster brought out here and clean this damn garage out. Oh, I know what I done Saturday. I freaking picked up branches all afternoon, and I still ain't got them all. I had to get my little electric chainsaw out and run a cord out for this one. I got to cut it up, but then it got late, and I had to fix stuff, so I came in. I'll get that one day this week, hopefully. But I'm gonna have a great bonfire this summer or this fall. I know that. All the wood I got piled up out there now.
I got out there yesterday and got out there yesterday. Uh, Run me some 110 wiring from the breaker box out through the wall and around the house out to my pool to get the pump going. And as soon as I hit that breaker, I went outside. So I could see it moving in the pool. All of a sudden, boom! One of the hoses that screws into the pump broke, and water was going everywhere.
Oh, you're kidding me!
So I had to shut it down and
Morning, Rob Fox. How are you,
get
buddy?
apart. But I got my well pump hooked up, running, and then I took my grandson. He decided, well, let's go fishing in the pool. I said, well, let's go. So I got the worms out of the refrigerator, went out there, and he caught like 4, 5, 6 bluegill out there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I dropped the video on Facebook. It's little pictures of him sitting up on the deck. And I'm trying to get him into fishing, so I figured that's the best way to do it. He casts his own out there. And he just has a problem paying attention to his floater.
Oh yeah, they all do at that age.
But he got excited.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take my youngest grandson out there to Sunny's where I catch a bluegill because he'll catch fish and that'll get him in. Like you said, it'll get him interested in it.
Yeah, he told me after he caught about, I don't know, he caught 4 to 6, And he said, well, I'm done. Let's go fishing for real. I said, well, you are.
Oh, you're roboting.
You said I was roboting.
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah, Jeff, she doesn't do it as regular or the same thing that she used to do, like the all night stuff anymore, but she still fishes. They had a tough night the other night where I can't fish in current like that close to the dams, man. It just I would never relax. That current was hauling butt that night. And man, Jody, if you went back and watched that and seen them rods on the left or on the right, I mean, when that boat was turning, them rods were turning to the right, bending all the way over. I was like, oh man, you're lucky you didn't either lose a rod or break one. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but yeah, y'all go back and watch it. It's like, man, them rods got to work out. It's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good week. Wait and see. I'm I'm convincing myself of that. Yeah, I got up early and went to the biker church service yesterday morning at 9. It's called Kickstart, and they have a biker service that they do at 9 every morning. And the regular church does the main service at 10:30. They do, a lot of different rides and stuff. They have a hog roast later this year with a bike show and stuff. Which, if I could get the Moto Guzzi going, I would enter it in the antique bike part of it. It'd probably win. Which I was thinking about that the other day. I may not trade that for that pickup truck. The more I thought about it, I don't know yet. Yeah, man, you're right. There was some really nasty crap going around. Yeah, see that in current like that, man, that's spooky. I wonder what makes them come off spot lock like that. Because I know when I was fishing with hooks and hammocks that time, we was on Ohio and we spot lock. We was there for hours, and it never changed or anything. Which uh, made it pretty interesting, actually. I had never seen it work before, and after I seen it work, I was like, if I fished on a river, that's what I would have, no doubt.
Fishing on the river. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So you accidentally bump the remote and it knocks it off. I can see that. Yeah, man, you get a lot of money wrapped up in that spot lock trolling motor stuff. Though I'll never have anything like that. Not unless someone gives it to me or something. I'll never really afford nothing like that.
Yeah, I think the cheapest one I've seen was like 2 grand.
Yeah, well, then the other part you got to think about after that, you got to buy batteries to run that spot lock all that time, so you got to buy good batteries.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it takes more than one or two batteries to run that
Well,
for 5 or 6 hours.
well, it depends if you got a 24 or 36 volt.
Yeah. Well, like in that current they were in, you're going to need a pretty stout motor, I would assume, to
Yeah.
hold that big boat there and all that current. I mean, I'm sure that motor was running, big time.
About like in the Mississippi, and an 80 won't hold you in spot. You got to have like a 120 or something bigger.
$1,200 and only 4 months old? You're kidding me. See, I'd be going back to wherever I got that at and saying, hey, here's your battery. Either give me another one or give me at least 3/4 of my money back. That's unbelievable. $1,200 battery. I'm sure it's a, lithium ion battery and stuff like that. And that's the only way to go, especially if you got to have multiple batteries. You'd almost have to because of the weight, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't see myself buying a battery that expensive
No.
ever.
Yeah, if you don't have a lot of current, I'm with you, Jeff. I'm leaning seriously towards either building or buying a pontoon houseboat to spend my summers on when I retire. Because one guy I seen, there's a place in marina in Cincinnati or whatever. It's $245 a month, and you got electric and water hookup there. And I can't remember if he said free internet or not either. I can't remember that part. But anyway, I could buy me a small pontoon houseboat type thing, and for $245 a month, I'd spend all year there actually. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, for $1,200, 36-volt lithium. Yeah, it. You know what they'll do? They'll probably say something about the way he was charging it or something like that. Messed it up instead of taking. I don't know. Maybe they'll take responsibility. I know I bought a battery there's a place here in town. It's locally owned called Battery Masters, and there's a battery factory outside of south end of town there. What's the name of them? Interstate, I think it is the batteries. I can't remember. But the factory out there takes and recycles the old batteries. I'm sure it's. I had a buddy that worked there. He said it was, you had to wear like chemical suits and crap to work in there, and they crush the old ones and heat it up, and it separates the plastic from the lead and stuff like that. And then they, recycle the lead. And then they actually, with the plastic they use, though, that they recycle, they make those like light green plastic pipes that they put underground or whatever. Well, that's what they use the plastic for, which is pretty cool. So it gets recycled into those, and there's a factory for that's right next door to it. But it's a nasty place to work. I know that. They have to do like lead testing and shit on your body and stuff every 6 months or something. But anyway, the Battery Masters, I bought a battery for either my dirt bike or the Moto Guzzi, one of the two, through them. And it's supposed to have a 2-year warranty or whatever. Well, the next year, that spring, I went to use it, and I had it on a battery tender, but it still was weak. And there was a ride that weekend or whatever, and I went to start the Guzzi, and the battery was weak. And during the week or whatever, I was getting ready for it to go, So I take the battery back to him and Friday, and we're going to leave on Saturday. And I take the battery to him on Friday. Well, we have to put it on our charger overnight to make sure it's not just wasn't charged right. And I'm like, dude, you mean tell me you aren't going to stand by your effing battery? I said, I got a ride tomorrow, and you're going to mean to tell me you want to charge this battery over fucking night and make me have to come back tomorrow and get that battery or get another one. And I told him, I said, the battery's bad. I got 3 different battery chargers I use for the fishing boat. I know they're good. So I ended up telling him to blow me and took that battery and used it for the core charge at Royal King and got a tractor battery, which is basically the same battery for $40 less. But I did put a battery tender on the Sportster this winter because that battery was brand new last year. We'll see how it done. I got a 100 amp hour lead acid battery for the trolling motor that's been in there for almost 2 years on the battery tender. So I don't know if it's still going to be any good or not. I have no idea. It was expensive. I know that. It's going to suck if it ain't no good. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing because I'm going to, when mom's gone, I'm going to go live at my son's house and he lives in a little town that's on a lake. He doesn't live on the lake, but he's like 4 blocks up from the boat, from the marina place. But it's a small reservoir. It's not very deep and doesn't have that good of a catfish population. Man, it doesn't have that good of a fish population, anything actually. Oh, really? That's cool. I thought it'd be cool if you were to take, say you had a pontoon houseboat and it's got that big flat roof, right? Say the houseboat part, say the pontoon boat's 24 feet, and the houseboat part of it, say you make it 12 feet by 8 feet, however wide they are, and you could put the entire top covered in solar panels and make it totally solar powered, the motor and everything, because they make those electric outboards now. I haven't read nothing about them. I know they're really proud of them right now, price wise. But technically, you could make a boat solar powered and not have to buy gas and anything. You'd have to have a standby small gas motor or whatever. I mean, of course you would, but still, you could almost have a boat that you wouldn't have to buy fuel for. Depending on what time of year, and what location. You'd want to be down south because they get more sun. But it's just ideas I kick around because I want to, for instance, if I had, say I got a pontoon houseboat and I put it in that marina in Cincinnati, well, heck, when J-Dog comes to Licking, I make him over and pick me up. I'll go fishing with you. You can boat up right across the river and pick me up, go fishing all day and bring me back and drop me off or whatever. I think it would be cool. I remember when I was a kid and we had the houseboat or the cabin cruiser on Ohio River. It's just an old beat up Chris Craft. It wasn't nothing fancy. But we would boat down the river, like get there on Friday, and Saturday morning we'd boat down the river and find a nice, sandy beach area or whatever, and then just pull in and tie off, and we'd stay there for the weekend or whatever. And it was pretty cool. I remember doing it. Well, hey, good morning, Gabe.
Morning, Gabe.
Yeah, this is the Harris support. Actually, now that the election's over, it's turned into a support group. It's a safe space for people who are still traumatized over the election. You're more than welcome to come in and hang. We do have to know your pronouns, and we have to warn you ahead of time that you're not allowed to criticize anyone. There you go, Gabe. But, you can have dreams, I guess. I could always just buy a fishing boat and pull it around places and go fishing. But then I'd have to have some kind of small camper or something, you know what I mean? Something to stay in. Because J-Dog would get tired of me crashing on his couch all the time. He'd probably put me a cot out in the garage in the summertime. I've actually got enough junk. If I sold it all, I could probably scrape up 10 grand or something and buy a nice boat or something. You know what I mean? When the time comes, I got a couple years before I'm going to retire. I was going to do it next year, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to work a few more years and try and make more money the last 3 or 4 years to help increase the amount of money I get every year. You know what I mean? Which would take dedication on my part. There's my house right there. Tell him to bring that over here. There's a guy's got a YouTube called Another Time, Another Place, I think it is. And he lives on a little houseboat, and he's got one of them rubber dinghies like they use out in the ocean, the real thick ones that I think it holds like 1,200 pounds, he said, of cargo or people. And he's been living on the Tennessee River for a couple of years now. I guess there's some river areas down there that are national park area. You know what I mean? So you can pull in and camp for 14 days or whatever, you know, and then you have to move about every 14 days. He talks, you know, he has a couple videos where he's, you know, talked to the DNR people and stuff like that. But he's a pretty nice guy. He's pretty cool. Him and his 2 dogs, or his dog and a cat. I'm sorry, that's right. He did have a sailboat that he redone, an older sailboat, and he used to sail it up, you know, up and down the river, Ohio and the Mississippi and Tennessee. I think I talked about it before, loopers, that there's a big loop you can take around through the intercoastal waterway of Florida and stuff, and you can go all the way around. Jody, I'm all over that. We'll go fishing. It'd be more than a week because I'm retired. I can do whatever I want for however long I want. I'll come and stay there, and I'll clean your boat and stuff up while you're working. We'll be ready to go. What's up, man? Look at that dude. Look at that picture.
Oh, I'm growing my hair out, dude.
Yeah, where's that dude at?
He's sitting right here. What's up, man? What's up, Rusty?
That long now.
Hey, Gabe.
Yeah, it is. I just always slick it back, dude. That's all natural right there.
Yeah. So that's a recent picture?
That was taken, what, 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. Just got out of the shower. Yeah.
That's cool. I thought your hair was real short. That's cool.
Oh, man. It used to be. It has been my whole life. I figure, you know what? I'm going to try and grow it out a little bit for the first time in my life.
Yeah. That's cool. I remember my brother that had that chopper and stuff. His hair was real long at one time. He was a biker dude. Then he got domesticated and cut all his hair off and become a professional.
Yeah, I'm tired of it, man. I'm like, you know what? Let's try something new. I'm 48 years old. I still have a full head of hair. I might as well try and grow it out a little bit one time. So, you know, who cares? I'm married.
That's
I ain't got no one to impress.
My family genes, there's nobody bald-headed in my family, and I'm digging that. I've wore a hat since I was a kid, and I still got a head full of hair.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, you know, a lot of people don't know that. Like, look at baseball players and people that wear hats for a living. Like, they go bald. But
I wore a hat every day of my life almost since I was a kid, counting in the Army. Damn long-haired hippie people.
Yeah.
John. I had long hair in school, in high school. Well, every now and then, I mean, I have long hair, and then I'd change it depending on whatever was happening that year.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut mine in about. Geez, it seems like it's. I can't even remember last time I got a haircut.
One time I cut mine when it gets so long enough it bothers me, and then I just usually. Now my last girlfriend, she was a hairstylist, so it stayed looking pretty decent all the time.
Yeah, that still blows my mind that y'all have hair people in your Walmarts, man.
Yeah, I guess I think they're doing this one here.
Some do, some don't.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen that actually. And there's actually a company in Australia, I think, or New Zealand that makes plastic. They're not barrels. They're actually pontoons that fit together, and you can customize it any length you want or whatever. And they're molded where the framework or whatever for your deck sits down in it or whatever, and you screw them all together. You screw it all together and stuff, but they're real expensive, but they look cool. Yeah, no, I don't want. I actually, if I were to build one myself, I would fill everything off the deck and everything, and I would put a third tune in the middle, and then I would start building from that point on.
Dang, man, you put a double wide on water pretty much.
Yeah, my last actual haircut was in '88 when I got married, said John.
I believe it.
I'm thinking about growing my goatee real long after I retire. I think I'll use that as my retirement thing. To the day I retire, I'll let my goatee start growing, and I won't cut it for however long. See how long it'll get. I can't grow a beard because it always gets to itching and it drives me nuts.
Oh, that would drive me insane. I
Yeah,
can't grow one if I
tried it.
wanted
I
to,
can't,
but
man. It drives me crazy. I've tried it before.
you look like Jim the Anvil Neidhart with that goatee, man.
Yeah, exactly. It looked
Morning,
cool. Though.
Dave
It was gonna be
Bozarth.
gray or white or whatever. Hey, Dave. Good morning, buddy.
What up, Dave?
This show ends at 8 o'clock sharp today. By the way, I set an alarm on my clock because I got to work.
Good Lord, I saw you've been on like 6 hours, 9 hours last week. I'm like, what is Buggy doing?
Oh, I just left it on. I was doing stuff. I just left it on. I didn't even pay attention. I muted my laptop while I was doing other stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like, man, is he doing a marathon or what?
Yeah, well, no, they when Eric's driving and stuff, it keeps him company during the day or whatever.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times when the
Cool.
chat will end, we'll have backstage and it'll go all day.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'll
just
work.
like he's driving and and whatever I'm doing or whatever, and it's just like you can talk back and forth. You don't even have to really sit there by it or anything.
Russell, you going fishing or you going bait fishing?
Bait fishing.
Boy.
Bait season,
Looks a lot.
man. Bait season.
Have you heard
It's a
any
lot more
word on
dry
whether
right
we're
now.
in or not?
What was that, Buggy?
I asked Rustic if he's heard any word on whether they're in or not.
Kentucky's out. It's shut completely down. I mean, you ain't catching nothing out of there. It's like pure mud. Trashy. Oh my God! When I was up there Saturday, Friday, I forgot what day it was. Saturday. Man, there was so much wood and stuff up there, like come and cut a bunch of trees down, throw it in there.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean it was super trashy. I mean it was super muddy.
Where was that at?
I went over to Barkley and I did pretty good. I caught over 100.
Oh, really? On the Barkley side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually been to that lake when I was in the Army at Fort Campbell. It's not too far from there, really. I like my lakes like I like my women, just a bit trashy. Yep. Trashy and educated.
Yeah, you don't want to be up there on that one there. I stopped in and looked, and it was extremely bad.
Buggy, I thought you were going to say wide and deep.
Yeah. I'd rather be old and rich, be honest with you.
I hear that, bro.
Yeah. Yes. No problem, darling. I'll take you to whatever functions you need to go to and dress up and wear a tie and everything. But other than that, during the week, you have to find me fishing. I'll mow the grass. You do whatever it is you want to do. I don't care. Just make sure when you die, I get some of it.
Yeah, Barkley, it was trashy too, and it was muddy. But if you fish it a certain way, at least you can catch them over there.
Yeah, I know Jody and them was trying to catch some the other day, and it was pretty slow. The water didn't look that muddy though. It just, I know
Well,
that
I can't complain. I mean, I was catching them 2, 3, 4 at a time.
Well, I would. How could you complain then? Shit.
Right.
It's not going to. Not every year is not going to be the same. Like last year, you had a pretty good year, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I've been having some pretty good years. Yeah, just this year the floods kind of put a damper on it.
Yeah, is that on a YouTube channel, John? I'm going to write that down. I haven't, but I will. I'll put that up at the top of my appraisal school notes things. Bill Reddick. I have to check him out. OCH.
Freaking light, idiot.
You know, and
Right.
with technology today, man, you can live about anywhere and stay in communications with everybody, which is pretty cool. Where I think if I was to stay in the houseboat on the summer or whatever, I would get the Elon Musk stuff, the satellite stuff that you get signal anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Starlink.
Starlink, yeah.
Yeah, Starlink, and the price on that will come down, as the years go on. I read an article yesterday and they were talking about if Elon Musk wasn't helping Trump out right now, him going up and rescuing them astronauts would have been the lead story on every news channel, and it would have been covered live and everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, you already know that. Yeah.
And if you think about how huge that actually was, I mean, they were trapped up there basically, and if it wasn't for him, they would still be there right now.
All the millions of dollars he's losing every single day from his Tesla company just because he's trying to do something good,
Yep. Well, I seen a video as an interview with him a few years back, and it was about a contract or something with the government or somebody, and he could have gouged them for a lot of money, a lot more than he actually charged or whatever. And in the interview, he said something along the lines of, "But you have to realize when you're charging the government, you're using the people's money. So I'm not going to gouge them and gouge the American people." I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, but they don't ever cover that stuff. I mean, he's doing what he's doing now for free. And because we have such a corrupt media, they just, the libs loved him when he developed the electric car. And he was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Well, I was coming home Saturday and down 55, I was almost to my exit to go home on the road I live on. And one of them Tesla trucks, the stainless steel looking ones, it was going down the interstate heading north. I was like, man, that's the first time I've ever seen one of those in person. That is one ugly bitch.
They are ugly, aren't they? I seen one the other day. I was going to see a house. It was parked in someone's driveway. Yeah, they're ugly. I don't get it.
Dang, Rustic, you never seen one before?
Huh?
We don't have a
You
bunch
never
of
seen one before, Rustic? Oh, yeah. Shit, you come here, man. You'll see at least 5 a day.
Really? Yeah. No, we don't see that many around here. I've only seen one in person. Is the one I seen the other day.
That's the first one I seen. Live in person going down the road.
I think they have potential, but they got to do something better than just like that silver looking. I know it's bulletproof and everything, but make them like put a wrap on it or something, and you could make it look better. But these people just have that plain like silver color on it. Yeah, it don't look right.
Oh, that's cool, John. You're taking him fishing today. Okay, that'll work. I'll look for that video. But yeah, there's just not that many here in the Midwest. Now I see a lot of Tesla cars. You know what I mean? But not many trucks.
I don't know why they even call it a truck. It don't even look like a truck.
No,
it doesn't perform like a truck neither.
It's more like a Humvee, like a futuristic Humvee looking vehicle, right?
I've seen a few tests with them against a 4-wheel drive Ford truck or something, and they don't, in no way, shape, or form compete. Now, acceleration wise, they're awesome. They're like major torque. And
I think they belong on the moon or something. That's what they look like.
The electric. That's what people like. The electric dirt bikes. They outperform the factory dirt bikes as far as overall speed and stuff goes. So like they pull the whole shot every race that they ever go in because they just make so much torque. And that's what I heard about, like the Tesla truck is, I guess it makes a lot of torque, and it's flat land acceleration is pretty decent actually.
Well, the Roadsters go to 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. That's insane, dude.
Sure it is. That's what I mean. People do. That's the one thing about electric motors is performance wise, they're awesome. for about 3 hours and then they're done. But other than that,
Yeah.
you know,
I couldn't do it.
if they ever develop it where it'll run for hours and hours and hours without, you know, dying, then they'll sell more.
Well, they could, Buggy. I mean, they could put as long as the wheels are turning, they could have a charging system on there.
I
to make
agree.
it charge the battery.
Yeah, that's true.
But they
That's
don't.
true.
Yeah, see, I
mean,
thought
think
about
about it,
that
they
too,
got-
and I don't know why they haven't done that.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
you
they
could
got
have
charging systems on our vehicles to charge the battery.
yeah. Well, you see, and you could have two sets of battery banks, one that you're running on and one that's charging while you're
Charging,
running.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you'd switch back and forth. And I know it's got to be possible.
'Cause
And
they're
then
tied
you'd
up with
have a
electric companies.
endless source of power.
Electric companies tell them, don't put no charging system on it. We'll put up some stations here and there.
Well, yeah, sure. Somebody's going to do that though eventually. Well, like I've seen a
yeah.
bunch of the videos where the guys use the springs in like a cam thing and they get the flywheel spinning and the springs keep it spinning indefinitely and it's hooked up to a generator and it makes electric. Have you seen any of those videos before?
No. That
Oh,
sounds,
yeah. It's cool. You can just look up on YouTube. I don't even know what you'd look up. Endless power supply or whatever. And what they have like a big flywheel, okay? And then say a camshaft coming off the flywheel. And on the lobes of the camshaft, they have springs opposite of each other. Say there's 5 springs or 6 springs, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Well, once you get it spinning, the springs work against each other back and forth, and it keeps it spinning forever. And then that big flywheel has a gear on it or a pulley that drives a belt that drives the electric motor or whatever, and it creates electricity. I've seen most of the videos I see are coming from like, you know, the Philippines or Thailand or something like that, where they have, you know, a lot of remote areas without power. And you can literally build one in your garage if you got a welder and a little know-how. The only thing I was wondering about is where you get the springs at, and I was thinking the perfect springs to use if it would be easy to get are the ones on them trampolines. Because how many people have the trampoline rip and they got all these springs in a box they ain't doing nothing with it. Hey man, I'll buy that box of springs off of you for $10 or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that's true.
those are made for, you know, thousands and thousands of springs or whatever they call it when you stretch a spring out. But yeah, look it up sometime. It's major cool. I'm like, in fact, if I still had my old garage like I did in Noblesville, you know, with my welder and all my stuff, I'd build me one just to see how it works. In fact, my air compressor, I went to plug it in yesterday and it didn't turn over, and I had to smack the motor with a hammer to get it to start turning over.
Oh, that works, huh?
Yeah, it's like a big starter or whatever, you know.
He got that. He got that from watching Brian B. smack his motor with a hammer.
No, I've been smacking starters on cars since I was a teenager. I had
done that.
I had the Chevy straight 6 I had or whatever, the old Chevy truck, 3-speed on the column, straight 6. Its starter, the Bendix was going bad, and I had to every now and then I'd have to lay under it and smack it with a hammer.
It gets stuck.
Yeah, it'd get, you know, you get a war spot in the whatever where the battery and the coils and stuff are. And there used to be all kinds of places around here, like, you know, they'd rebuild starters and alternators, and there were a bunch of, you know, small machine shops and welding shops and stuff that supported the factory. You know, the factory would outsource some of the work and stuff like that. You know, the factory left, then all those jobs left also because the places had to close up. I mean, they used to have a bearing place here. You could go in and get any bearing you needed. I don't care what you needed it for. They would have it or get it for you. Same with belts and hoses and stuff like that. You know, there was always places like that. About to brew from Indiana Jones Bones Coffee. It says coconut and caramel flavor. Cool. Have you ever had any Kona coffee? True Kona coffee, not the kind that says Kona and it has like 3% of Kona beans in it. But true Kona coffee that's 100% Kona beans, it's real expensive, but man, is it smooth. Mostly it's in Hawaii is where, but you can go to like, they had a place kind of like the Fresh Marketplace or whatever that's a big franchise, but they had, a smaller place, not really a franchise in the town I used to live in, and you could buy it there, but it was really expensive. What you looking for here? I'll get it,
I'm
buddy.
gonna turn the light on
All righty. I
and
got you.
fix me a drink.
I'll make it for you.
Oh, would you?
Yep. And no, it's not that kind of drink. Before you all say anything, yeah, my mom's a drunk. She's got to have a drink first thing in the morning.
Who cares?
That's a protein shake.
Mama can do whatever the heck she wants. If she wants a drink at 8 a.m., let her have a drink.
Wants to drink at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Let her have a drink. Let her have a drink. A drink. Let her have a drink. I might as well get some gas while I'm here. Throw $10 in it and see what happens.
How much is it there, Rustic?
$2.79.
Oh my goodness. I haven't seen gas that cheap here and probably shoot since the last time Trump was in office.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, bud. I can't see the chat. Wait, hold on. Let's see. All right, there you are. What's up, Catfish Dog? What's up, buddy?
There you go. Hey, what's up, dog? I was going to say, I had that muted for a minute, but
That's all right, buddy.
what's gas out there right now?
Cheapest I've seen is like $3.99 a gallon.
Mine was 309 or something, I think, yesterday. It'll give it a couple, in 2 years, it'll be a lot cheaper.
I think probably only about 6 more months, probably, because it's dropping really fast. So
Yeah. Well, I read the thing said gas or oil was down to $60 a barrel. It said so. We should see that pretty soon.
yep, takes about a month or two after the price of barrel goes down, then it hits the market
Well,
kind of deal.
they're putting the summer gas in now too, so it costs a little more.
Yeah,
That's the biggest bunch of bullshit I ever heard.
it is.
The summer gas.
They expect you to believe that it's more because it's a different season. You know what I mean? Give me a break.
Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, that's about like getting a muffler bearing or something, Come on. You just brew it and drink them, yep. But yeah, if you've ever get a chance to try some Kona coffee, do it, man. I forget how much a pound it is, but it's not cheap. Unless you live in Hawaii, then I suppose it's probably cheap. But you got to read the package if you get some, because a lot of it will say Kona coffee, and then when you read the package, it'll say like 85% Brazilian coffee beans, 15% Kona.
Yeah,
So it's not really Kona coffee. That just has some Kona in it. And I don't know what it is. I guess it's maybe the soil or something in Hawaii where they grow it at. I don't know.
probably the soil, the humidity, just the right everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Kind of like Humboldt County and weed, man. It's a good place to grow up. I can remember my best friend when I was a kid lived across the road. His oldest brother went in the Navy. He come back one time. He was stationed out in San Diego somewhere. He come back with a trunk full of weed, and he's talking about Humboldt County, California. This was in 1976 or 77.
Yeah, they come out here for that, man.
Yeah, I had to make a trip up to Humboldt County before I come back, and he opened his trunk, and it was full of weed.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours north for me, but
Yeah.
they're struggling ever since they have these these cannabis stores now.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
ain't making no money anymore selling,
No. Now, I heard at one time they were starting to have issues with the cartels at one time, weren't they?
Not that I heard, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen something, an article or something. I read all kinds of crap, so it's hard telling where I've seen it at. But
Oh, you know what? I did hear about that. I was watching a YouTube video about Humboldt growers, how they're all broke now
yeah,
because of and they said, yeah, they would, they were always having problems with cartels. You were right, dude.
yeah, trying to take over their grow operations.
Yeah, they come in with guns and shit and try and steal all their shit.
Yep. And then they, I mean, there's a good documentary. I think it's on Netflix, I think, about Humboldt County, and some girl goes missing, and someone up there killed her. She was a trimmer, you know what I mean, trimming bugs. And that was a big thing with like the deadhead or fish people or whatever. Their dream job was going to Humboldt County and getting to work as a trimmer, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess it was getting pretty sketchy up there for a while. As far as, you know, if you had a grow operation, you had to have some security or something. You know, it wasn't.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
it
to have
wasn't the
pretty
laid
much
back
a
hippie
militia up
stuff.
there.
Yeah, it wasn't the laid back hippie stuff like it was in the 70s, where a bunch
Oh,
of people
no.
just stood up there and grew weed and didn't want nobody bothering them. You know.
No.
Sandy, did you see me walking across there?
I thought that was Brock Lesnar. I didn't want to say nothing.
Morning,
Nah, he ain't no
Sandy.
Brock Lesnar.
He going fishing. But yeah, actually, if you get a chance, watch that documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, well,
It's actually pretty good. It's like it's three or four episodes, maybe more than that. But
Hey, Tim. Yeah, I'm going
yeah,
skipjack fishing.
the gist of the story is the guy's trying to find out what happened to the girl. You know, it's either a family or he's a guy or somebody hired. You know, and naturally, you're not going to go up there and ask questions. They aren't going to talk to you. You know.
But did you see that where old retired Rick, that lucky old dog, caught him a 50-something pounder?
I seen that. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yep, I seen that picture. I like it. That's
Lucky
gonna be
old
me
dog.
one of these days when I get some time to put me some time in on the water. That's my goal. My goal this year is just to catch a 20-pound blue.
Yeah.
I haven't got there yet. Just haven't been there. You know, I haven't hit it at the right time to do it. But J Dog will put me on one eventually. I just don't have anywhere up here to do it.
My PB is 25.5 pound. That's blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to break that this year.
that's how big our channel cats get here, man.
And we got some big channel cats here too. They're tough to catch.
I know that place where Chad and them go up Mendota or whatever. Chad caught that 125-pound channel. It was huge. It was black too. It was weird. But I guess that campgrounds they stay in or whatever is closed for the year for renovations or something, he said.
And that's 44. Well, all he showed was that 50. That's all I seen was 50.
Oh, he caught a 44-pound one also? Heck yeah. Talk about hitting the honey hole at the right time.
Yeah,
my PB's only 29.
He must got some good water up here where he's at.
Well, if I can ever catch up, I can start working on the boat. Hey, good morning, champ. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. 30-30. But right now, I got to get the branches cut up, and then there's still parts of my yard's too wet to mow back there by the pond. That's where I had to wheelbarrow the branches to, and it was still squishy. I'm like, shit, I can't even mow back here yet. There's a bunch of big mounds like the crawdad mounds. You know what I'm talking about? They make come up out of the ground.
Yeah.
I always heard they were crawdad things. I'm like, well, how in the hell does a crawdad get in there and dig up in the ground like that? Where do they come from? I got the little pond there. I get it, but how do they get from the pond to that spot where they dig up and make the little tunnel thing?
Most of the time they got it tunneled from the edge of the water over there.
Oh, really? Geez, ooh,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. Because then I'm talking 30 feet or more. That's wild. So
Well, the
digging
water
up
was
that
probably up
mound.
high.
Oh yeah, the water was up in there. Now that you mention it, but so digging that mound up, the odds of catching a crawdad in there is pretty slim. Then
Yeah.
they caught 4 over 40 yesterday. Heck yeah, I know I wouldn't be telling no one where I'm fishing at if I'm catching fish like that. Don't make no YouTube videos of it. And the next time you pull in, there'll be people there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was saying he must be going somewhere to fish some good waters.
Yeah.
Either that or he's right place, right time.
Yep.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep. God hooked him up on some nice fish.
I'd like to latch on to something like that from a boat.
Yeah, me too. I will one of these days. It just takes time, like I said, and you get time to get on the water. But I
Yeah, I
got,
went
like
there
I said,
to
I can't catch up.
give me
To
some
start-
gas and give me a mocha cappuccino.
Nice. I can't catch up to get to start working on the boat yet.
Huh.
And it's getting late it's late or spring already. I got to get on that. I'll be back. I got to mix the
What do you
rest.
got? Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Good. I should have enough gas to get up here and do what I got to do and get me home. Tomorrow, go to the station, fill up, and Wednesday come back.
That's a pretty good racket you got there, though, with selling that bait fish, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I used to be a lot bigger. I had a bunch. I had a bunch of bait shops that I was selling to, and some of them closed down and some of them I let go. I'm only supplied to 2, and that's it. So that I don't catch nowhere near as many as what I used to. I don't have to. I catch something enough to last me, and then them 2 there. Once they make them 2 orders there, they're basically done
Yeah.
for the year. And that's about it.
What's up? What's up, River Rack? What's up, buddy?
River Rat Bank Angler of the Year.
Any new updates about that neighbor of yours with that fence? Do you need some? Need me to send you some bolt cutters or what?
Fence.
I'll go down there and take care of business. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about Rat Rod?
Oh, so one of y'all was having a problem with your neighbor to put a fence up on land where they shouldn't have, so they couldn't fish there.
Yeah, old Rat Rod. Yeah, that's River Rat. Dang, either go around me or something blinded the crap out of me. Riding my butt. I need a new vehicle. I'm gonna hit my brakes. Oh,
Yeah, brake check them.
that's right.
It's probably a fat boy behind you on his way to work.
I don't know what y'all can see. I got the chat pulled up.
I can't see no one in front of you.
This buggy's bad about not reading the chat, and I'm trying to read and drive, and I can't see it very good.
I got it. River Rat says, Rustic, I'll take 2, please. You would like 2 bait fish?
Well, I'll have plenty today. I should reach my goal today, if not Wednesday. And then y'all probably won't see me for a couple days because I'll be off doing something.
Uh-oh. You got a hot date?
Yeah, you could say that.
Attaboy. Attaboy. I see a car coming.
Yeah.
Up there's Buggy driving out in the middle of nowhere at 3 a.m. getting a Red Bull.
Yeah, I done seen 2 deer right outside of town where I live at, about 3 miles. And that, damn, dude, turn your fog lights off. It's not even foggy. Jeez.
Looks a lot drier too. Doesn't look so wet everywhere now.
Oh, it
Holy
is. It's flooded.
smoke.
This left
That
side of me
dude.
over here, the river's backed all the way up over here.
Really? It's still up, huh?
Oh, and Mississippi's still jacked up. It's flooded bad.
We had a pretty decent winter, but my goodness, for the last 4 or 5 days, it's been hot here. It's been almost 90 every day, which is it's rare for here. We don't get this hot in
Yeah, I
April.
seen Ryan Hall said that there was a heat wave coming, and
Yeah,
I seen where in Arizona it was like 99 degrees. Phoenix.
yeah, too early in the year for that, even out here in the West.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I was saying, I got to watch for deer on this levee because there's been 1 killed on it so far from the flood running it up. But
Yeah, you
there's
can
deer
watch
out here, so
you can watch the best you can, Rustic, but when they jump in front of you, it's over.
yeah,
You know, there's nothing you can do. Ain't no one got that faster reflexes.
You got to watch the side of the road. I always do. I hit a deer in Wisconsin. Since then, I always at night watch the side of the road when I'm driving.
But dude, everyone that's ran in front of me came out of nowhere. Like I'm
Yep.
literally just nowhere, and then boom, right in
Yep.
front of me, like a brown. It's like a brown flash.
Yep, the one
Yep.
I hit was like that. I seen
Yeah,
him punch
you
him
can
in
see
a
'em
brand
on the
new
side of the
company
road, but
van.
if there's trees, they jump out of that tree. You ain't gonna see them till they come out.
Yeah.
Well, this mating season, I mean, it gets really bad.
Yeah,
Oh shoot.
yeah, when it comes in. But yeah, right now we got an extremely bright full moon, and so they're moving.
Yeah, they had a pink moon the other night or whatever, and someone sent me a thing about it. You see the pink moon tonight, full moon? I'm like, get out of here. And sure enough, when it come up behind the house, it was pink. I was like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's
Buggy,
the sun was on it.
Were you on some Humboldt that night or what? I never heard of no pink moon.
You Google it, it was the other night.
Really?
Well, it's like
Yep.
Saturday when I come up here. You know, it was dark. I let my dog out about 3 o'clock to go to the bathroom, and at 4 before I left, and we had a bright, really bright white full moon.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
As the sun started coming up just a little bit, the moon turned blood red.
Yep. But what I was mixing, it's like Ensure, only it's the powder, because Ensure, if you buy it in the case of bottles, it's ungodly expensive.
Yeah, it's good though. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
I like
I
it.
lived on it when I had my colon issues. I lived on that stuff for about 6 months.
Yeah, remember when I had my teeth done, dude?
Yeah.
They pulled my teeth out, and put the all-in-4 all-in-4, what do you call them damn things, on the top part of my mouth. I was on them Ensures for at least 4 months.
Yep, I lived on them at one time. But
Yeah.
Sure.
the ones if you mix them yourself, you gotta. I usually put about half of the glass full, put the powder in, then mix it up, and then you let it sit for a little bit because the stuff is hard to mix. And I tried it in the blender, then it made it real frothy and foam. You know what I mean? It tasted bad. So you mix it by hand, let it sit a little bit, come in, mix it again, make sure you get it mixed up. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of chunks in the bottom.
Oh
Which
yeah, dude.
Okay, because you spoon them out, they taste good anyway.
You get one of them shakers, one of them protein shakers. Those work pretty good.
That's what I'm going to do, I think. Actually,
Yeah,
we were talking about that yesterday. Me and Mom were. I'll order a couple from Amazon.
yeah. You have to get at least a couple, because you can put one in the dishwasher while you have to clean one. You know what I mean? But they're like $5-10. They're not expensive at all.
Yeah, no,
Can you,
exactly.
Can you lose weight drinking nothing but those things?
Oh, heck
I
yeah,
did.
you lose a bunch of
I
weight.
lost 25 pounds, dude.
Yeah, I lost almost 40 pounds in that 6 months with not eating any solid food.
I'll tell you what, though. I wish I would have got my I wish I would have got my bottom teeth done too, because when these
Yep.
bottom teeth hit
Good
this top,
Lord, turn your fog
these
lights
top
off.
bridge,
Dang.
dude,
Yep.
the top bridge wins every time. Because
Oh yeah, for
the
sure.
zirconia is no joke, man. It's a solid material, man.
Yep. But
Woo.
Oh, that water.
actually, I
can
like
see
it. And when he was real sick, he drank it, and it about broke me trying to keep him in it because I'd buy the bottles, and hell, he'd drink 3 or 4 a day, and it's like, I don't know, a case of them was like $30 or something. It's more than buying a case of beer. I know that.
Yep.
Like, hell, Dad, go back to drinking beer. You'll be all right.
It's the popo. The popo sitting right here.
Yeah, it's a speed trap all day. Catching somebody late for work, gonna make them a lot later.
Yeah.
Or as the guy on the radio in Cincinnati used to call it, we got
That wasn't a
revenue
popo, that's just
enhancement.
Somebody sitting there.
They called it revenue enhancement setting at mile marker 10.
Speed limit 20. Guess I don't need to be doing 30 over.
20, my goodness, that's low.
And look
Yeah.
how narrow that bridge is.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a narrow bridge.
That other one that crosses from Missouri and Illinois, it's worse than this. This is a
How
little
high is
wider.
that bridge, dude?
830,
Oh, it's
30.
up there.
When you think they're gonna get in there? How long you think it'll be before they'll go in and tear that guy's fence down?
That's what I said. I'll send him some bolt cutters.
And like he said, Duke Energy will take care of it. I'll get you a little butane torch, one of them butane torches, just walk by and start melting it.
Yep. Just
I just don't figure people out, man, like that. You know what I mean? I
they're
guarantee
just doing it to be mean, dude.
You can't see that from his house. I'll bet you money you can't see that bank from his house. So it's not like he's bothering anybody.
No, that guy's just doing it to be a prick. I bet you he moved there from California.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I hear a lot of, when they built the factories here in the 40s and 50s, a lot of people moved from Tennessee up here for work. Well, now all of them are retired, moved back to Tennessee, so the prices of property have went out the roof, and people in Tennessee are not happy about it. Tennessee and Kentucky,
Yeah.
It used to be you met someone here and you asked, where are you from? Jamestown, Tennessee. Everybody was from Jamestown, Tennessee.
Well, if I was him, I'd say, well, it is what it is. I'm catching better and bigger fish right down here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I'm a guy. For me, it's the principle of the thing now,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, tell me your motivating factor for doing what you're doing right now. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Bobcat.
You said bobcat?
Bobcat.
No.
Really?
Our small version of the mountain lion.
I haven't seen a bobcat in years.
Yeah, he was standing on that side of the road over.
What's the wolf thing from the Game of Thrones thing or whatever that they brought them back and repopulated them? They actually used, DNA or whatever and created them.
The gray wolf.
Like
yeah, dire wolf. Yeah, but they used the DNA from the common gray wolf.
Did they?
Yeah. So it's not a pure dire wolf, but yeah.
That's all we need. And, it's. Oh, that's cool. It's like when they reintroduced the bear to the mountains of Kentucky out where our property is. It's like, seriously, man, now you have to,
another bobcat.
Slow down so we can see it. Yeah.
Slow down.
See it.
Yeah, I want to see one. Yeah.
You ain't going to see one. They're hanging off on that left-hand side of the road right there, right off the edge of the grass.
Huh.
Here, kitty.
But they reintroduced the bear to eastern Kentucky, and now they're a big nuisance. You got to build a cage to keep your trash cans and stuff in, and like, and before long they'll get overpopulated, and they'll have to be, well, we're going to have organized hunts, and you can draw your name for a tag, and we're going to have to hunt the bears now because there's too many of them.
Buggy, we had that same problem in my neighborhood when I was with my baby's mama.
Mountain
but
lions.
It was her going out and getting in everybody's trash cans, dude.
Fixing dinner. I'll be back, honey. I'm gonna go out and get us some dinner.
Oh no, that was.
Hey, I went out dumped something out of my van into the trash can this morning. A daggone raccoon popped out of there.
Oh my
Scared
goodness.
the crap out of me.
Man,
Yeah,
give me
well-
a heart attack. John, they ship mostly in people's yards though, out down there in Kentucky nowadays. I know I was going to go camp at, the property down there, and my grandpa's brother said, "Well, you don't think twice about that. If you're going to go, you better have a motorhome or something." He said, "I was sleeping in. They built a little shed thing after the house burnt down to keep, the lawnmower and crap like that in, and they built a little bunk bed on one side of it for when he goes down there. He doesn't have to get a hotel or nothing." And he said, "I was in there at night, and that bear was all scratching the door, trying to get in and everything." He said, "Then it dawned on me my gun was in the truck." Like, oh shit.
He was
So-
just hungry.
Down there is probably not a good idea.
Sure, he just wanted to give him a hug,
Yeah. But, and like I said, the bad part is they're not foraging, for regular food. They got, because of the population, they're eating out people's trash. And everywhere you go, there's chain link fence, a little square chain link fence thing built with the top opens up and the trash cans are down in it.
Well, I'm still an hour out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it takes an hour to get to them bridges from my house.
Oh, okay.
Is
Yeah, I
that-
know it takes, I checked the map. It was 5.5 hours for me to get there. Or
Does
that's
that
what
ever make you nervous, Russ?
That's 7
So-
hours.
What's
for
that?
me.
Does that ever make you nervous, Rustic, in the winter time driving over them tall ass bridges and there's black ice on the road? That would make
I
me
don't
a
know. I don't
nervous
come over here
wreck.
in the wintertime.
Oh man.
I don't
They're
come
not
over
the
here in the
same,
wintertime.
Sandy, but they're in the same family. Sunfish are usually real colorful, and bluegill are just, bluegill.
I was
Sunfish
gonna ask you that, Buggy.
colors on them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that since you
Yeah, if you
catch
look
a
at a
lot of them.
sunfish, it's got a
They'll have
you got a blue
blue
green,
and-
like a bluish green, like lightning strikes on it.
yeah, they're really pretty.
Okay.
Actually,
Beautiful fish.
I'd never seen any as big as
To
bluegill.
me, I think the
either.
pumpkin seed's prettier. I think a pumpkin
Yeah.
seed's the prettiest one. That's just me.
I
though.
don't. I'd have to see. I probably have always thought a pumpkin seed was a sunfish. To be honest with you, I don't know the difference. I'm sure that you know what I mean, but I know sunfish. I've never seen them as big as bluegill.
But you'll know they'll have that orange belly, and there'll be black
Yep.
spots all over.
Yeah, they
Wow.
introduced too, Jody. That's cool. Now the bears, like I said, they become a nuisance after a while. I suppose their intentions are good, but if you introduce a dominant predator into an area that hasn't had that dominant predator for years and years, doesn't it disrupt the ecosystem? You know what I mean? As far as the
Yeah, that's why they put my baby mama in the Oakland Zoo. She
Heck, yeah,
disrupted the ecosystem, man.
they did. She ruined it.
Yeah.
Heck, the mountain lions kept disappearing. They couldn't figure out where they went until they checked her freezer. Hell, she had them all packaged up and ready to eat.
He's a mountain lion.
Hey, I've seen some scary videos out there, people hiking and mountain lions following
Oh,
them
I
down the trail.
know, dude. We have a lot of mountain lions here in California.
I got-
a lot.
I got a can of bear spray that's about 9 inches high, and I guarantee you there ain't nothing getting past this stuff. That said it sprays 25 feet. I ain't never used it, but I carry it in my truck in case something happens and I don't want to have to shoot someone. I can spray them with that, I suppose.
Yeah. Or just flash a
The way it
flashlight in
goes,
their
you can
face.
end up in jail, but
Yeah, that's
You
why
know, I
they say when
seen-
you go mountain hiking where there's mountain lions, make sure on your backpack you got a fake set of eyeballs back here, like a little stencil
Yep.
deal.
No, I've never even thought of that. Does that work, huh?
yep.
Yeah, they said it makes it look like they'll be behind you and they'll look, but they won't do that because they're afraid that you're looking at them.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
launch a little bit different. See, mine usually when I take them out of the live well to go up to the fish cleaning station, I throw them in a cooler of ice. That's the only way to do it. Then the meat's firm when it goes to flaying them.
Yeah, because like I said, man, we have a huge mountain lion population here in
Yeah,
Northern California.
Yeah, you do. I've read about it and seen videos. It's like it's almost a nuisance problem now. I've seen them in people's backyards, and
Oh yeah. It depends on the seasons. You know, if we had a dry winter,
yeah,
they'll come down more into the suburbs. But if it's, you know, they'll stay up there if it's a normal, you know, and there's stuff to eat up there for them, which there's plenty. We got wild turkeys and other animals that they can eat. And they're, you know, they keep to themselves.
yeah. I bought that bear spray when I was taking the motorcycle trip. I was going up Michigan and across the UP and back down through Wisconsin, and I was going to stay in, national parks and camp, in primitive areas and whatever. And someone said, dude, you better get you some bear spray. And I hadn't thought about it until then. I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. So I Googled it and researched it and found what they said was the best kind. And I've basically been in my truck for a couple of years in the little thing beside the door,
Yeah.
And have you ever seen a video? Guy's at the gas pump. He's pumping gas, and this van pulls up beside him, and 3 guys jump out and come run around his car. They're going to rob him or something. He just pulls the nozzle
gas
out
on him.
and sprays. Yeah. He thought of it that
Yeah.
quick. And they turned around and I'm like, man, dude, that I will, for the rest of my life, I'll always remember that. If it ever happens to me, I'm like, man, dude, you talk about stopping them dead in their tracks, man.
Yeah. They took off like a bat out of hell.
Feet. Yeah. Yeah, the one guy coming around the backside, he sprayed him, then turned around and sprayed the other 2, and they stopped in their tracks and turned around and run back and got in the van. And I'm like, can you imagine how bad that van smelled for the rest of the year, probably? But how slick was that, man? I'd have never thought of it. I mean, because it wasn't even a hesitation. The second he seen the guy coming around the back of the car, he pulled that out of the car and was squirting him. And I'm like, man. How smart.
I thought that was funny.
I gotta look that up. I haven't seen that yet. I got my Second Amendment, one in my door, one in my glove box.
Yeah.
Sometimes in my ankle, but it just depends on where I'm going. If I'm just going to the store, I just leave,
Yeah. Now, like when I go in Walmart, I put my little Ruger in my pocket. It's a 38.
Yeah, that'll work.
It shoots. Yeah. I think it holds 6 shots or whatever. It's a little bitty when, and it's in my console between my seats all the time. But when I go in Walmart, I take it out of the holster and put it in my pocket. Because there's a bunch of nuts in Walmart where I live.
Shoot, they're everywhere, man. Don't ever go into a Walmart. I always say after 10 p.m., you're going to see some strange-looking individuals. I see that. Is that you guys get them pop-up thunderstorms too, man?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Here we get those.
Look at that.
But it wasn't calling no rain though.
I'll bet he was, John. I know. I seen a fight in a gas station one time, and while the 2 dudes were fighting, one guy run over, opened the back door of the car of one of the guys fighting the car, and took out a backpack full of weed and took off running. And I'm pretty sure the 2 guys were fighting about that weed that was in the car.
Well,
it was gone.
That Flying J's right there where I stopped at.
Yeah.
I pulled up there to the front, and they used to have the ice machine down there on this side, and I went in, got what I was supposed to get. I got me a pack of cigarettes and a mocha cappuccino. And I come back and I just opened the door of the van and sat down. And I was putting stuff down. These 2 black guys come out of there and they tied into a fight right in front of my van. They fell over on the hood of my van. I come up out of that van. I said, y'all get the fuck off my van.
Oh, yeah,
what y'all
dude.
doing? Grown men out here fighting like this. All the cops come up, and I had to ask the cops. I said, "Could you make because they was traveling, I guess, from Chicago or something, and there was a bunch of them. They had me surrounded, and I couldn't back out. I told the officer, I said, "Hey, can you make them move so I can leave?" They were screaming at the cops. It ain't the cops' fault. Cause I told them. I told that one girl, I said, "It ain't the cops' fault." I said, "These 2 right here started fighting."
Yeah.
And the cops wouldn't even. I don't even think they arrested anybody. They just so happened that morning there was 3 squad cars in there.
The stick shift, best anti-theft device made right now is a manual shift transmission. And
That's why I got my new
nobody
Mustang.
under the age of 40 knows how to drive one.
That's why I got
Yeah,
my
they-
Mustang, dude.
Yeah, I learned to drive one when I was 12 or 13 years old, and it was a Volkswagen dune buggy.
I learned
And
how to drive a stick. It was a Ford full size truck. It was on the farm. They all left. They said, "Hey, we need you to bring that truck over here, park your tractor." I said, "I can't drive a stick." They said, "Well, you better learn or you won't have a job."
yeah,
So I jumped in it and took off.
well, I had a crazy uncle who was a tunnel rat in career or whatever, and he was certified nuts. I mean, he's a little bitty guy, but we built the dune buggy, and Dad took it out in the field across from the house to, kind of shake it out and see how it ran and everything. And then I call his name Uncle Wink. He said, "Come on, get in that. I'll teach you to drive a stick shift." And by the time we were done that afternoon, he had me power sliding it around the corners.
Yeah, once you learn, I mean, it's like riding a bike. Like
Yeah.
it,
Look there, I'm in New York.
You went robot, Rustic.
That's
You know,
New York.
One of the best tricks I learned, and I never knew it till I was in the Army, and we had to take a class on driving a thing called a gamma goat. And it was like one of them things where it's two parts and there's like a pivot in the middle. You know what I mean? It's like 6-wheel drive or whatever. But part of you had to do is you had to pull up on a hill and stop, and it was a manual shift, and you had to take off without letting it roll back any, or you failed. And the guy taught me how to use my heel on the brake and my toe on the gas on one foot and the other foot on the clutch, and be able to use, as you let the clutch out, you still had the brake on. When you're giving it. I've never forgot it. You'd have to, I guess, see it to understand it, but it works and you won't roll backwards.
yeah, you do that on a hill.
Yeah, I never knew
Put
that.
the emergency brake on, and then as soon as you feel that pull,
Oh no, it is
release
an emergency brake. You actually put the heel of your right foot on the brake pedal, all right, and then you use that same right foot. You use your toes and you put it on the gas. So you're actually operating them both with one foot.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, I'd never knew how to do that before. It's one of the pretty cool things that I learned in the military. I never forgot.
I showed my wife that one, the emergency brake one, because she's terrified. And when she drives my car, if she's on a hill, I'm like, put the emergency brake on. When you start to feel the pull, then release it. It's a no-fail system.
Yeah. See you, John. Good luck today, man, and watch your P's and Q's around the preacher, man. Although he's heard all the words before anyway. You'll slip up, I guarantee it. I do.
Was John going to be an ordained minister or what?
Hey, taking a minister guy fishing today, I think. I know when I first got saved and stuff with my church, I went on a golf outing with the preacher and, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 guys from the church or whatever. And I'm a new Christian at the time, and I might have spewed the F word accidentally on the golf course with him standing there. Like, I'm sorry, sir. I apologize.
Oh yeah, dude. Tell me about it. Yeah, they always say, "Oh, it's okay."
That truck lights rub me off the road.
God damn it, Bill. Yep. Erwin, how you doing? Now we're getting this boat. God damn it, I'm telling you, put your life jacket on before we take off, and don't forget.
Rustic, those look like some clouds up ahead, brother.
Yep, sun's coming up. I'm seeing it here too.
I hope it don't rain on you.
With the sun coming up.
Oh, it's cloudy.
Yeah,
well, rain, sleet, or snow. I ain't got no choice now. On a bad thing,
you
I
already
took
now
my poncho out of my bag.
There you go. Yeah, you're there. You might as well fish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun fishing adventures. Good morning to you.
Go for it.
Like y'all remember that story when I fell down that hill, and all my fishing gear and everything, my tackle box went in the water. I figured, well, I'm down here. I might as well fish.
Yep, exactly. I'm already here.
I'm already 50 feet down this hill. I might as well cast out.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm already here. There's no. I gotta make the best out of a bad situation every time.
Yeah, it sucked going back up though, climbing that with all my gear. Oh, that took every ounce of mental and physical strength I had left.
Yep. Always look for the positive in every situation.
some of my best skipjack days over here was on a really cloudy days and super foggy.
Yeah. Hey, going
You do good when
skipjack
the sun's
fishing.
shining, but
That is an odd name for a
Said
fish, a skipjack. I wonder who came up with that
Hard
name.
today, huh?
yeah,
See, man, I can't do none of them kind of
Sagittarius
diets. I don't
bud.
even remember what I'm supposed to eat and what I'm not.
That's where
Oh, you know what was cool yesterday, and I hadn't even realized it until afterwards. But when I went to church and we were standing up, my knee didn't hurt while I was standing up during the singing stuff. I was like, this is pretty cool. Or when I pushed the wheelbarrow from the front out to the back to dump the branches, and I got done doing all that, picking branches up and pushing the wheelbarrow back and forth. And when I come in, my knee didn't hurt. I was like, oh man, this is good stuff right here.
Yeah, you take those as
Hey,
victories.
Well,
Buggy,
for
did you see?
some years it hurt every time.
That's what I mean.
Buggy,
Yeah.
Did you see yesterday, Buggy, where Anthony J was fishing a flooded field and he caught channel cats out of it?
No kidding.
Yeah,
I remember seeing Coach fish a gravel road one time.
yeah, caught a channel cat right on top of it.
Yeah, he did.
Now he's catching them all in the video games.
Every day something different that I do, and I realize, wow, my knee don't hurt when I do this now. It's kind of neat actually, because it hurt for so many years you never even thought about it. Nabi, what's up? The pushing the wheelbarrow thing was the best though, because usually by the time I got done pushing it out there and back, I'd have to call it a day and come in and take some leave.
Check out
You're a better man than me,
short buggy I dropped. Check out my short buggy I dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
About that bird riding that log down the river down there.
Oh,
You'll see
well,
how fast
yeah.
that river is moving.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll check it out.
Buggy, I can't even get out of bed.
Dude, I tore my right knee up when I was 14. Back then, they didn't do ACLs or nothing. They didn't even exist. They just went in and cleaned it out. My meniscus was torn up real bad, and they actually took the meniscus out even. I played basketball till I was 38 on a knee with no meniscus. That's bone on bone every time you take a step.
Yeah.
Actually, when I 38, I tore the ACL on my left one, and the doctor didn't even care about that. He looked at my right knee X-ray and said, "We got," and the bone on the bottom was actually starting to kind of mushroom out. He said, "I don't even know how you walk on that." And I said, "I've been doing it my whole life." He said, "Well, we need to replace it." And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm 38. That ain't happening." And he said, "You will eventually." And I made it till I was 49. He asked me if it hurt, and I said, "Well, hell, it hurts every day."
You get used to the pain.
Yeah, I remember my girlfriend at the time asked me. She said, "Does your knee hurt today?" And I said, "Well, it hurts every day." I said, "It just depends on what I do on how bad it hurts."
Yeah.
And then every spring there was a basketball court by my house next to a McDonald's that had lights and stuff they turned on at night. And every spring I'd go down there and watch people run in court, and I'd get in one game and I'd play one game and remember why I couldn't play ball no more. I had to almost crawl up the stairs to get in the shower. And I remember telling Susie, "Hey, next spring when I say I'm going to go over and play basketball or watch them play ball, tell me that that's a really bad idea, because I can't go watch and not get in the game."
I'm the same way, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's like going to a dirt bike race and telling myself I'm only going to do the start and I'm going to pull over and let everybody else go. I had trashed my right shoulder like 4 months before that, and it was still messed up pretty decent, but it was my favorite race. I told Susie, "Well, I just go and the start dirt bike race is the most exciting part." I mean, I'm to this day, no matter how many races I've done, it still scared the hell out of me every time. And so the start goes off. My row had 40 bikes in it, and I'm like third or fourth into the first turn. And I'm like, man, there's no way I can pull over now. The best start in 10 years. About 4 miles later in the woods, I clipped a tree with the same shoulder and realized why I should have probably pulled over. and laid there on the ground until someone come and helped me pick the bike up.
My granddaughter started her junior high career in softball now,
Oh, really?
and she was first picked. They had tryouts, and she
Yep.
went to try it out, and they told her, "No, you don't need to try out. You're already on team. You're first on team."
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
dude.
I'm surprised they haven't recruited her to start playing in high school already. I
Well,
suppose
she's
there's
just starting
rules
out.
against that.
I think it's Tuesday, Saturday. I think it's Saturday. She plays her final game in the league she's playing in. Then she moves up to the junior high level. And
Yeah,
yeah, she went to the tryouts. They said, "No, said Bristol, you don't need to try out. You're number one on the list. You've already been put on the team."
that's cool. Yep, scouts
Well,
will
when
be
you
all
got
over that before long.
when you got two colleges scouting you at that age, you're going to make the team.
I just feel bad for women's sports right now. I just pray, man, that just goes away. These
What's
men and
that?
women, men and
Yeah,
women, it's gonna rob people
I never
like
watched WNBA until Caitlin Clark got up there.
yeah. Hey,
yeah.
they just picked up a
Her
former, or they just picked up a
her
player.
shooting
She's an all-star. They're going to
her
win the.
shooting's not what impressed me.
No,
It's
her
her
passing
passing.
is awesome. Yeah, she's
She
got
she
she's the Magic
won't even
Johnson
be
passing. Yep.
yeah, she won't even be looking at the person, and she'll throw that ball, and it looks like it's going right at that player, and then a curve.
Yep.
That's what amazes me. I was like, dang, look the curve she put on that ball.
Well, they got they're building a team around her. There's a good chance they win the title this year. Yeah, they're gonna be awesome.
Well, she's
Yeah,
the
they
face
picked
of
up
the
two more
league now.
players.
She's bigger
Well,
than women's.
like Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Shaq, all of them are like, you people are so stupid the way you treated this girl her rookie year. You don't
Yeah.
understand. She's your meal ticket to bigger paychecks if you just,
Yeah.
accept her. Oh, y'all see her? She's got guns, man. She's been lifting weights. She's got arms that are nasty right now.
No,
I
she
guarantee you they gonna,
single-handedly
what's that?
saved that. She single-handedly got eyes on that league last year.
Oh,
It was all
100%. 100%.
Well,
from the
I was
Olympics
never
and all that stuff. Like that's
I,
not a
You can
good
look at
business.
the attendance for other teams.
Yeah,
When she goes there, they sell out. When she's not there, they don't sell hardly any tickets at all. What's that tell you?
hey, they
that-
had the USA team, and then they
yeah.
had this league or women's or something deal, and Caitlin was on that because that Reese girl was on the USA team,
Yep.
and they didn't want Caitlin Clark on there because of her, because they thought she was the ticket. And
Yeah,
they
they
played
didn't put
against
Caitlin Clark on the Olympic
yeah
team. Yeah.
the Olympic team that was played against the Caitlin Clark, whoever she was playing for, them girls, and them girls beat the snot out of her.
On
Caitlin Clark
David
buried them.
Letterman, David Letterman's got a talk show on HBO, I think it is, and he had her on there, and I forget what they said. There was a rumor that her team was practicing against a man's team, and she scored,
Yes.
I forget how many points it was in like 3 or 4 minutes, something. And he said it was a rumor, and he asked her about it, and she said, "Oh yeah, it's true." And
Yeah,
he
it's
asked
true.
her,
I've
"Is there
seen it.
video out there of it?" She said, "Yeah, I think there is, but we tried to get
Yep.
people to not release it."
Yeah, it's out there. I watched it.
Yeah,
She
she's
made some
something
of them
else,
guys
man.
look bad, boy. I mean, she made them look bad. She's good.
And you wait till you see this year. Like I said, I forget this girl's name they picked up. I just read it in the paper yesterday, but she's an all-star. And I forget what team she played for, whatever, but free agency or whatever, the Fever picked her up. And it's just, I mean, their team's going to be so strong this year.
Hey, they got 44 games, right? I think that's what it is, 44. 41 of them games it's going to be live broadcasted with Caitlin Clark and that Fever team. And the other girls are real jealous of it, especially that Reese girl. And they try telling them, hey, y'all go be playing with them too in packed arenas. Y'all never had that before. That means more money in your pocket, but they didn't care.
Yep.
Reese, oh,
Well,
man,
I'll show you how stupid they are.
she cannot shoot the ball at all. She can rebound, but she can't shoot.
No, she
She
you know what
rebounds her
cracks
own
me up?
rebounds.
She actually thinks that she's the premier player in the league. That's the part that kills me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, most of her rebounds are from her missing her own shot.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
what's
talking
her
about her
offensive
padding
rebound?
her stats the other day.
Yeah, so offensive
Exactly.
rebound.
I watched her one game, and I'm sitting there looking at what's all the hype about. She rebounded 3 times in a row. It's because she missed the shot 3 times in a row.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos out there about it too right now.
I'm like, okay. She just tried
What's
to
up?
a layup, missed, got a rebound. She tried to shoot it real close, missed, got the rebound. She tried to shoot it again and got the rebound. And then finally the other girl got it and throwed it down. She missed 3 times. I'm like, good Lord.
What's up, 205? Wild action. What's up, brother?
Hey, 205.
Hey, what's up, man? Wonder where Eric's
Yeah,
at this morning.
like I said, I've never watched them before, but I'm gonna watch some of them when they come on if I can get them to watch. They said that old Reese said that she looks like a baby giraffe out there flopping all around.
Oh, I just watched this UFC pay-per-view they had on Saturday. That was a really good one. They had some good fights, man.
What
I
was
used to
that?
watch that all the time. I don't anymore.
Last UFC pay-per-view they had on Saturday, they had some good
Oh,
fights.
really? Yeah.
So if you don't like the grappling, if you like the straight like striking, that was for you, man. People were getting lots of knockouts, man. It was
Really?
insane.
Gabe, let's see if you can remember this. There was this one. They wasn't heavyweights. They was like lightweights or something. And there was the young man, slender, had short hair. The other one was slender, he had long hair, kind of like a caveman looking dude. And they never took it to the mat. They stood up, fist fight the whole time. I mean, from the time the bell rang till it ended the round, it was straight up slobber knocker.
What are you doing, little man? You won't go out, buddy?
Yeah, you get some of those now. Still, you got a striker versus a striker. They'll stand there and throw. But
Oh, they
you
did
get
the
a
whole match. They didn't go to the mat or nothing. They said that was one of the best fights ever.
Let's go.
I can't remember who it was, but it's been
you
about
don't-
it's probably been about
Ain't you
I don't know, a
something,
few
little
years back.
man? Let's go out here and see if the sun's getting ready to come up, guys. Oh, it's going to be a nice morning, ain't it? Kind of cool out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some fishing in today. It's gonna be 90 again, so I might as well take advantage.
You're kidding me. It's going to be. I couldn't even imagine having 90 degrees already.
I know it's not.
No way, man.
And the water is high, so because we had a wet winter, so it's plenty of fish.
Go
Hey,
fishing for a
205,
dog.
getting back on the grind. I'm with you, brother. I am too. Show ends at 8 o'clock sharp today. Because I got to work. Actually, I got to shut everything off so I'm not tempted to watch anything while I'm working.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more catfishing this year, but I'm gonna be doing a lot of carp fishing too right now when I get my skipjack stuff all done because right now until the rivers get right.
Yep,
too
I'll
lazy
be
to
carp
catch
fishing
carp.
until I get the boat going.
I'm too lazy for carp fishing, man. That's like a science. Getting the pack bait right, and you gotta have
Hey,
that lead. And
30, are you still in here?
You
It's
gotta
it's
have
not
that lead.
really.
You ain't watched my videos, have you?
Hey, Gabe, it's I'm telling you right now, the way I've done it forever is I make my pack bait, and that's the hardest part. Once you get it right, I put a piece of corn on my hook, right? and I
Yeah.
get a handful of pack bait, and I put that hook down in the middle of that pack bait, and I pack it around the hook real tight, and then I cast it out. Okay, so the hook's laying there. The pack bait starts to dissolve with the kernels of corn floating around. The carp come up, start feeding on the corn, and the hook's right in the middle of it. Bam.
You don't use no lead or nothing like that, huh?
No, I have weight to cast out. Yeah.
No, like
I
a lead.
use a rig, just there's like the hook at the bottom and the lead up there about 2 foot above it or so. And yeah, now what I did start using was one of the things like Rusty uses, the spring looking bait holder jobbies. So with that,
Yeah,
I pack
that's
it
what
with pack bait. Then I just put corn on the one kernel of corn on the hook, and that's it. And you cast it out. And now there's all kinds of stuff. People do all kinds of fancy stuff with the little line sticking out past the hook with the little fake corn on the end and all that stuff. I don't know anything about any of that. All I know is I've
don't
caught
do
carp that same way forever.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all's carp, but they're really big out here, like the channels,
Yeah,
man.
they are. Yeah, you should be fishing for them.
Yeah, there's some places here that carp get huge. Like where I fish at mostly for carp, they don't really get that big, but they're plentiful. It's fun to catch. They're real long, but they're not fat.
Gabe, the pack bait I've used my whole life is one of them things of oats, like Quaker oats, but it can't be the instant kind. It's got to be the real kind that you got to cook. Dump one of them in a bucket, a can of cream corn, and a can of regular corn, and mix it up. That's all it is. And nine times out of 10, after you mix it up, let it sit for a half hour or so, and mix it again, the texture is just right. It won't come off the hook that easy.
None of that Jello, none of that stuff. Huh?
No, I don't do none of that crazy shit.
I don't do nothing.
Never have. I mean, we've made that same pack bait since I was a kid. And I think the only reason we made it that way is because that's what was in the cabinet at the time. We had one can of cream corn and one can of regular corn. But, I mean, it's worked for, the key is usually the first cast, when you cast out with your pack bait around the hook or whatever, that first cast, you don't usually catch anything. But that pack bait dissolves and scent starts spreading out. And you try to cast near the same spot every time. And that second one you cast out, when that pack bait dissolves, 9 times out of 10, you're catching a fish.
Yeah, a lot of carp fishermen, they chum the water, so they'll go out there a couple of days beforehand at the spot they're going to fish at, and they'll throw a bunch of corn out there and stuff for them. And then
before my shoulder surgery, I used to just make a packed ball about the size of a baseball and throw it out there as far as I could. You know what I mean? And then fix my pack bait up and cast in the same area. But they're easy to catch once everybody has. Well, I put some grape Kool-Aid in with 2 shots of hot sauce, and I used a little sprinkle of pepper on this one side. You mixed it all around, and then I added some raspberry Jello after that. And I caught a bunch. Well, maybe you just happened to hit them on the day they were hitting real good. And had you thrown just some regular old pack bait, you'd have probably caught them too.
The recipe that I use, I can actually see them coming upriver.
Yeah,
because carp will make swells.
Following the scent.
And you can actually watch them come upriver towards your pack bait.
Yep.
I find that fascinating.
Mine is the poor man's fishing pack bait. It costs you what for a tub of oats, or what, $3 or $4 maybe?
Yeah.
What, 69 cents a can for the corn? Bam. You got enough pack bait for 2 days.
Hey, there's all kinds of pack bait, and they all work good.
Yeah.
Some work better than others. They're faster attracting. And
well, what do they call the thing where you got the hook and it's got the line that goes past it, and they put the little fake? Yeah, or what? Yeah, I don't get all that. I don't know. I don't understand it.
They call it a hair rig. They put that board on there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, all that. I want to put my bait on and cast it and be on with it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole idea behind. I put one, maybe 2 kernels of corn on that hook, and that last kernel, when I put it on, I don't even push it all the way past the barb. It's just kind of on there, just barely poked past it.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah. like I said, there's all kinds of pack bait out there. I mean, Chris Hook Hammocks, they got good pack bait. He makes good pack bait. I mean, there's several, but some, like I said, some works better than others.
Do you want me down
I mean, and carp is a type of fish, Gabe, that the deeper the water, the bigger the carp's going to get. The shallower the water, they're going to get long, but they ain't going to get that big around.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
And your best carp fishing is in a lake as opposed to a river, because in a river it washes your pack bait away really fast.
Yeah, unless it's down low, then I can go spot on the river and I can catch some
58
big
degrees.
carp.
Heck
But,
yeah. It's 58 degrees here right now. You kidding me?
but one thing about pack bait, you don't want no hard current at all.
No, because it'll wash it away real fast. Here, let me unhook you, little man. I'm sorry, I totally spaced it. There you go, buddy. You're the best puppy in the world. Yes, you are. What
I
you
just
do?
like catching them. They're fun. They fight hard,
Yep.
and you've got to finesse them kind of because that hook will pull out that soft mouth.
Yeah, so yeah, their mouth is real soft. That's for sure. Ernie Brown, what's up, man?
I mean, I've caught many of them where people's hung them and snatched the hook out of them, and their lips are all ripped up.
Yep. They definitely have a really, really soft mouth, and they're hard. I try to use a net to bring them up out of the water, especially where I fish, because there's big rocks, and I'm like maybe 6 feet up off the water. Well, I can't get down on them rocks. I made that mistake one time, and almost fell. I did fall head first, but I almost fell head first with my foot stuck in the rocks, and my head would have been in the water. And I was there by myself. It would have been ugly. So I got a cheap net, that extends out. It's real cheap. And, and I use it when I can. But with 20-pound line, I don't really have to worry. I can always just pull them up out of the water if I have to.
Yeah, I just love carp fishing.
I do. Yep.
Man, it's just the fight alone is awesome.
And once you find them, man, you're bound to catch 10 or 12 of them every time.
Hey, let me ask you something about braided. So I got 50-pound braided line on my rods. Put them on last season. So how often you got to change that line out?
I don't know. Mine's been on there for like 2 years.
I was gonna say, mine. I like braided.
I mean, I look to make sure that the first where my hook's at, my sinker, I'll cut them off and redo them. But I always look at the first 20 feet of my line. From there up, any kind of braid, I cut that spot out.
Okay, yeah, I use mono for the leader, but the main line is braided.
Yeah,
all my poles have braid on them now, and then I use 20-pound leader for where I live because I don't need anything bigger than that.
Yeah, just always make sure you check before you go fishing. It's okay. I fish in some rocky area, little drop offs, little ledges. Check that from your hook up to the reel. Check it 20 feet of line. Make sure there's no abrasions in it.
Yeah, if you fishing, rocky areas, you got to check for, frays in the braid and stuff like that.
I mean, I got one reel that's had braid on there for 3 years, and it's still like brand new.
Yep.
I mean, I've cut about 30 feet off of it because of abrasions, but other than that, I still use it.
I had never used it before, and I'll never not use it anymore just because of the difference in the casting distance I get.
Yeah, that and every little bite you can feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Very much.
And another thing about braid is if you can take and spool it onto another reel.
Yep.
Off of that reel, and somehow or another, and then you can take and reverse it and put the top layers on the bottom and bring out the bottom, and it'd be like brand new.
Yeah, the reel you're reeling it off of, you're putting the old line on first, and the new line underneath never gets touched. Yep.
Yep. And when
But
you
yeah,
look at it, you'll
I was
notice.
kind of weary of it at first until I got some, and I was like, oh, the biggest thing I have is determining on how to tie it, what not to use or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
harder to tie the braided than mono for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know how you take and put the braid through the hook eye. You
Yep.
can bring it up, pinch it at the eye with a little loop, and you wrap that line around it, your tag line around the main line on a mono, and you put it through there. You ain't got to go but like, I don't know, 10 times or something.
Yep.
Okay, on braid, what I do is, the way I found out, because they said you couldn't do it, I'd go about 17, 20 times, go back through there, and I'd wet it, and I'd pull it down until it gets tight, and I ain't never had it come loose.
I just use the improved cinch knot like I do with mono, and it seems
Yeah,
to
that
work.
works good for braid too.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could figure to use to tie. You know, I mean, I didn't know any other way to do it, and I've used it and it works. So I'm like, all right. I think you
Hey,
could probably
morning,
tie
Denise.
square knots with that braid, and it would probably hold even. The stuff just cinches up tight. Morning, Uncle Lou. What you BSing about today?
Morning, Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou, how's it going, brother?
What's he BSing about?
I don't know. He said BS about something. He might be talking about the tomatoes they're talking
You
about.
come in and woke me up.
Nah, he's talking about, he care less about that. He's probably talking about the high type of braid or something. Like this year, that one reel I got, it's been on 3, it's gone on 4, so I'm gonna put brand new braid on it.
Yeah, because I've only used it one season. It's good for another one, man.
Uncle Lou.
A lot of mine it hadn't got used too much anyway, so it's still good. I didn't get to
Yeah.
fish much last year at all. Which I wish I could. I'm so far behind because the yard was so wet. I'd love to have went yesterday. Even today, right now, it's 54 degrees. I could be like, shoot, man, I could have left and went and fished all morning.
Sandy.
Oh, man, 54 degrees, I'd be freezing my butt off, dude.
Oh, I got the back door open right now, or the sliding door letting air in.
Oh,
said it's
no.
50. You said it's 54 degrees there?
Yep.
Man, it's 66 here.
No kidding. Nice.
Yeah, it
66,
was
that might
69
be
at my house.
I don't know what the temperature's going to be. Let's see what the high is going to be today. I
Good
don't
Lord, I like to
remember
look
looking.
at them deer.
69 degrees
those
is going to
deer.
be the high today. You kidding me? It's going to be cloudy, it looks like, though.
Oh, yeah, it looks like the clouds are breaking up a little bit here, but not much.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't look as threatening anymore.
Yeah, I don't care
But the
about
winds are blowing, Jack.
Are they? Yeah, I don't care
Yeah.
about the temperature as much as I don't see any rain in the forecast.
Uncle Lou says, Buggy, your back door always open from what
And I thought J Dog was asleep. He's rubbing off on you, man.
I never heard Uncle Lou talk like that.
I don't think Uncle Lou wants him rubbing off on him. So.
Oh, you ought to see some of the stuff he sends me off of Facebook and stuff. Yeah.
I'd be shocked because in the chat, he's
a dirty old man.
no,
As bad as J Dog, but still.
no.
The dirty old man.
But like I said, not as bad as the ones J Dog sends me. But where actually J Dog's been pretty kind the last couple weeks on what he's seeing. Most of it's pretty cool stuff.
I'm ready to write it down, Buggy. You got to look up 2 girls in a cup.
No. Nope. Not gonna.
Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
2 girls in a cup.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know. There's a lot of things in the world I don't want to know about, and that's one of them.
oh
Yeah, some
man,
things
my
you
brother
don't want
got
in
me
your
with that one, dude. My brother got me, and I'm forever scarred.
Yeah, you see, exactly. You was gonna let me get scarred of something I'd never forget seeing. No, sir, I don't want him rubbing off on me. What's a blue waffle? Is that something I don't want to Google neither?
Blueberry.
Ooh, waffle. I could only imagine. It
I
is.
don't know. I don't want to know. Someone else find out and tell me that I'm glad I didn't search it.
I'll never forget.
Same.
They talked Buggy, and they was talking about this one thing, and all of us knew what was going on. Buggy didn't know what it was, and he looked it up. He said, "Oh hell no!" I forgot what it
A
was, but
Hershey's Kiss?
it was nasty.
Was it the Hershey's Kiss or the Dirty Sanchez or the?
Oh, I know what all
No, I
those
can't.
are. Don't even
I
go there.
can't remember what it was, but I mean, you wouldn't have known.
What's
You
the
wouldn't have known it
trombone
by
one?
the
The
name,
something
but
trombone or something?
The rodeo?
There's something about the trombone. I forget the name of it.
Oh, or I don't even want to know. If it involves objects, yeah, I don't even want to
Yeah,
know.
me neither. Yeah, there's just stuff I don't want to know and or see. Because
yeah,
there's a lot of sick stuff in this world, and it's all out there if you want it.
I got enough junk in my memory. I don't need anything else. There's
Oh,
deer.
geez.
One, two. There's two deer.
How come them bobcats ain't gobbling them up?
Well, they're way over here in Kentucky. I'm almost to the dam. The only reason why them bobcats are up there because it's easy prey along the side of that road there. The river's up on both sides, that levee. And so they're going through them woods trying to find rabbits and stuff, easy prey.
Oh, okay.
Because they're right down the road. There's a weasel dead, and there's a mink, and there's they got run over, and then there's a beaver that got run over.
Yeah, they put a lot of minks out here in the Delta to get rid of, so they keep all the rats away, the water rats. It's a good idea because that's all they eat are rats and mice.
Well, I'd have stopped, picked up that beaver and that mink, skinned them out. But I don't know Kentucky laws if they allow you to do that or not. I hate to get pulled over and they're in the back.
Yeah.
What do you got back there, Rustic? A bunch of dead animals. You know.
Yeah, a little roadkill. We're gonna have supper tonight.
Yeah. I'm taking them to Jody's house. She's gonna make me something nice.
Yeah, they're dead and stinky now. They could be a little better once you get stuff with them.
Oh, what's up, Zach? Long time no see, man.
Hey,
Mike,
what's up? Where you been, man?
I thought you got eaten by one of your critters.
Just nonstop work. I like that, brother. I'm so glad you're working.
Yeah. Last time I heard from you, you were having a problem finding a job. So good for you, man.
Yeah, he's been on a concrete truck. Well, last I seen him, he was driving a concrete truck, staying pretty busy.
Well, it's good to hear.
I don't know about where he's at, but up here, the concrete truck drivers are Teamsters, and they make good money up here, man. Like bank.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, all the mafia owned all the concrete companies and all the garbage companies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some of them may still.
Yep.
If you know what I'm saying.
There's some concrete cinder blocks out there with bodies in them, folks.
Yep. There's a concrete company here. IMI has been around and they own almost every stone quarry in the central part of Indiana, and it's a bunch of them. They're like huge money.
Hey, you're in Indiana, right, Buggy?
Yep.
You ever go to the Christmas Story house?
Nope.
What?
Nope. Never been there.
My wife's wanting to go there.
That's on my bucket list, man. And you're right there.
Really? Where's it at?
Yeah.
What city?
You know, they,
I have no idea. Gary? Is it Gary?
Is it in Gary?
They charge you a fortune.
You can't pay me to go to Gary. You kidding me? At one time,
Not where
Gary
they
was
charge you a
like
fortune to
capital
go
of
through it.
America.
Isn't that where the Jacksons are from too? The Gary?
Yep.
The Jacksons? Yeah, they have a whole like Jackson 5, like they kept their house they grew up in. It's all like landmark now. Tons of stuff to see, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
why she's wanting to go to
You
towards
have fun going to Gary. Let me know how it
house.
was.
And
Yeah, you can rent it now. I heard you can do it's like an Airbnb, the Christmas story house. You can actually spend the night there.
Yeah, no.
yeah, and
You're
it
not
costs you
going
out the butt too.
You're not hearing me about Gary, are you? Nobody in Indiana goes to Gary, Indiana. It was okay when the steel mills were still in, but after all the good jobs left, like I said, at one time it was the homicide capital of the United States.
Man, I've lived in the ghettos here on the West Coast. Way different than I've seen ghettos in the Midwest, everywhere. And here on the West Coast, the ghetto is the ghetto. If I go anywhere else, like I went to the ones in St. Louis and all them, they look like nice areas. I'm like, you all need to see the ghetto. Come to the West Coast. You won't get out of the car. It's just a different. I can't explain it. It's weird. I'm like, this doesn't look like a bad area. They're like, no, this is bad. This is really ghetto. I'm like, it don't look too bad. Rustic getting twice the ice there.
Oh, wow, cool. I know when I worked at the marina at the lake in the summertime, I used to have to stock those damn things.
Oh, don't even talk about. So I live out here and have a bunch of marinas. Right? But I used to, this time of year, they have these good restaurants that are on these marinas, so they jack the prices up.
Oh, yeah.
You got to give us locals a discount because I know you're ripping off tourists, but you shouldn't be ripping us off too.
Well, the marina I worked at, it was actually in a state park, and the guy had to get a license from the state park to have the marina there and stuff. It wasn't like marinas out there.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get some ice to keep on it. It's warm today.
Yep.
Saturday wasn't so bad. I mean, it warmed up, but the fish were like ice cold. I mean, ice cold. So I stopped by here and put ice on them.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't bother me. I was just like, yeah, this doesn't look bad. I challenge you to go to like maybe East Oakland, go to East LA, where it's look, totally different looking ghetto. Like your ghettos are classier in the Midwest. That's all I know. He's got a little bit class. I don't know,
How's that
man.
view, Gabe?
It's
that
all
view
blue.
okay?
You're kind of out of focus right now.
Yeah, it's in and out. I think it's your signal, but
Yeah.
$3 for a bag of rice, Sandy Toes in Australia.
No, she said for the bag of ice he just bought.
Oh,
Yeah.
$3?
Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
a bag. They're large. If you go to the gas station up here, and you got them ice boxes. Says ice on it. Their big bag is like $5, and it's not as big
It's
as that.
frozen water. That's ridiculous.
Their small bag is like $3, and it's way smaller than that.
Yeah.
That's a racket.
Yeah, that ice used to be $2, and they raised it up. As soon as Biden took office, boom, they went up a dollar.
Yeah. Because the water started costing more.
But it's still cheaper than the ice in them ice boxes at the stations.
Well, we're really screwed here because now we got Kamala, so she's going to run for our next governor. So
Yeah, I
you
feel sorry for you
couldn't get
guys.
any worse than Gavin. That's worse than Gavin. So that might be the nail in the coffin for me. That might be.
I don't know. It showed 3/4 of California voted for Trump, so y'all might be getting a new governor.
That's true. You got a good point. Yeah, people have had enough.
Just like Illinois, though, as long as you've got places like LA and San Francisco and stuff that have so many people that there's no matter how much the outlying areas vote, those places there are still going to control the narrative.
Yeah, because it's not the electoral college in the state; it's the popular vote. So that's why they always win. But all those people in Hollywood, all them wokies, they got all their houses got burnt down, and they're pissed. So they all said, "No, we're not voting again."
Yep. Good.
Oh, there's a little deer got killed, little baby.
He was just sleeping.
Thank you, Buggy.
Well, let's see
No, I feel better.
what the river holds here on the Tennessee.
Yeah,
They
Lou, I'll
got
bet.
every
Man.
gate wide open. It's extremely
really?
high, and it is a flowing, Jack,
No kidding.
and it's muddy.
Hey, Sandy Toes, I heard during COVID, if you were outdoors and you weren't wearing a mask, did they take you to jail? I heard it got pretty bad in Australia during those times. Like they took you to
Oh,
jail.
if you stand in your own yard,
Yeah.
I heard that on the news. If you go outside to smoke a cigarette in your yard
Well,
and you're not wearing a mask, oh yeah,
stupidity
Australia, they
reigned.
come in like a SWAT team, dude. It wasn't just an arrest. They'd come in like a SWAT team. Like you just robbed a bank or something.
yeah.
Stupidity reigned when all of a sudden everybody had all this power. The cops went nuts. Remember the one guy that was paddleboarding and they arrested him? I'm like, really? You're out here and paddleboarding in the ocean by yourself. There ain't a soul around, and you're going to arrest this guy? They lost their mind, man. They went, they got drunk on the power. And, I'm just following orders. No, you're not. You're being a prick. That's what you're doing.
You're not following order. You took an oath when you took that job.
The best part about the stuff that happened at COVID, it'll never happen again.
Oh yeah, it will.
No, not here. It won't.
You know what?
Well,
You put them
around here. It wasn't half as bad as it was in other places. I mean,
Georgia wasn't
except
bad.
for the mask, there wasn't really much going on here.
Yeah, Texas, Georgia, Florida, there was like a 1 week lockdown. I mean, here it was 2 years, but I mean, if you strike enough fear in people, they'll give up their freedom for fear. They'll do it.
Did you hear the interview where they were talking about the 6 feet rule? They pulled that out of thin air. There's no scientific basis behind it whatsoever.
No, Dr. Fauci deserves to be in jail.
Oh yeah, 100%. He committed genocide around the world.
He killed.
He messed up the AIDS thing when it happened, and how he was still there, I'll never know. Yeah, he's a piece of shit, man.
Sharing cereal with your, he said back then.
And he's got Secret Service security.
Not anymore. Trump pulled it.
They pull it? Oh, since Trump come in, they pulled it good.
Trump pulled it.
He needs, like I've said, 100 years from now, when all the documents are released, you're going to see that was a planned pandemic. The Democrats done that shit on purpose. I can call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. I don't care. It's a fact. There's no other way that they were going to make mail-in voting the norm unless they had
already know.
Down.
That's not conspiracy theory. That's already a fact. But did you know? Here's a fact for you. I don't want to be I'm always political, but I try and keep it on a minimal. But do you know that what all the states that Kamala won in the election? Do you know what they all had in common?
What?
No voter ID. Those are the only.
Yeah, 100%. That's the other farce. The farce they sell on that one about it's discriminatory or whatever. I'm telling you right now, you can't do anything in this country without ID. And
no, that's a racist thing to say. To say someone can't get a driver's license because of their skin color.
Yeah, it's an insult.
You're racist.
You can get a state ID for free. It doesn't even cost you to get an ID.
I just bought a pack of cigarettes and they requested my ID and scanned it.
Yep. Everywhere. Well, and I tell you, the best way you can prove that is to mail out 10,000 mailers and say, you want a free TV, but must have ID to claim your prize. I guarantee you all 10,000 of them will have an ID to claim their prize. No doubt in my mind.
Shit, yeah.
That's in the Democrats. If I was in the minority population and the Democrats were saying that stuff, I'd be so insulted. What, you don't think I'm not smart enough to go get an ID to vote? Really? You think that about me?
ID to get in the club. You gotta have ID to buy cigarettes. You gotta have ID to buy beer.
You gotta have ID to do anything. You can't claim a letter at the post office. You can't do anything without an ID.
No, sir.
The black vote, because they were.
There's deer.
You're right. That is one of the key things. And what's that?
There's a deer gate. Go walk right out the road.
Without any without
See it?
voter ID, it shows you how easy it is to
Look,
cheat.
look, Abe. Sit there.
Oh, yep. They're
Little
all
deal,
out of
youngin. Little doe. He's running in the direction that I'm going to be going. I just thought I had to make sure you seen that.
Thanks for slowing down. I want to see a bobcat.
Yeah. Biggest one I ever killed. That dude was, I'm about 6'5", and that dude was almost as long as I was tall. Biggest bobcat I ever seen. I gave it to an old boy. He said, "Man, that's the biggest one he's ever seen."
That's big. They don't get maybe like 3 feet out here at the most.
Well, shit, there's already people here. He's sitting right on the steps where I was fishing. Damn, I knew I should have got here earlier.
Yep,
Well,
should have got
well,
there
you
before
could have
daylight.
pick him out. This is my spot.
That's all right. I'm gonna go right down here anyway.
Just do like them other assholes and go stand next to him.
He's fishing it
Oh,
wrong
my
anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't used to until they started casting and crossing my line.
They
And
still
then
got that same one open. The rest of them closed. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here.
All right.
All right, Lester. Good luck, bud.
All right.
I'm just waiting
Talk
for
to y'all
my
later.
alarm to go off, tell me it's 8 o'clock, and then we got another half hour. It looks like. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy tells that makes sense. You live out on an island; they just close the bridge. I like that. Oh, no. Yep, gonna be a beautiful day here. It's already hot, warm enough. I got the door open. I'm digging that. I need to get me a screen for the sliding door though, because otherwise I'll have flies all up in my crib.
Flies, bugs, spiders.
Hey, River Rat, do I need to refrigerate that pack bait you sent me, or is it okay?
Oh, Buggy, I think it's too late for that if you had to. That's been sitting out.
It's still in the box it came in. Yeah, it's still in the box it came in. So, okay, cool. I didn't think so. And
What's
I
up,
can't
Mr. Girl? It's me, Skywalker.
use that shit, man. I'm dying to go out and try it out. It may happen later this week. We'll see. Depends on how much I get. If I have any more orders come in too. If I get any more orders, it's gonna be.
River Rat said just don't get any moisture on it, Buggy, so don't spit on it.
No spitting. Got it. I just need to get caught up on the stuff outside so I can. Yeah, none of that's important. So I can do work and still go fishing.
Yeah.
I need to change oil in the lawnmower too, come think of it. And I got to ask Lynn, there's 2 quarts of Harley gearbox oil sitting up on the shelf up there, and I don't know if it's his or if it's mine. I could have bought it and just not remember doing it. Because I'm good about that stuff. And I got the inner tubes came in for the lawnmower tires. I just got to put them on, which ought to be a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because they go flat in a day or two. The left side, back and front, which tells me Dad hit something on that side. When I first bought that lawnmower for him, the first time he used it, he run over one of them cast iron shepherd hooks, like stick in the yard. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Literally run all the way over it, knocked it down, run over it. It's like, Jesus. Bent the blade and all. I'm like, oh my God, it's literally brand new. First time we used it. Hi, LaToya Williams. How are you today? You're quitting your YouTube channel. I'm with you. I'm about ready to. So it's a trend that's happening, I think.
Well, everyone's quitting their YouTube channels? Why?
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm slowing down now that wintertime, it's okay. But in the summertime, there's too much to do.
that's why you got to go live, man.
Fish don't bite when you're live, man. I'm telling you. They quit
Tell me.
every time. Yep, they quit hitting when I go live for some reason. I was doing stand day that time, and I got there early, so I was fishing, and I caught 2 or 3 decent sized carp, and then I caught one that was like 10 pounds 5 minutes before stand day started. When I went live, didn't catch another fish. And it's
They know.
happened once.
Yep, they know.
I don't know what it is, but I swear by it. You can call me crazy all you want, but I swear by it.
Little guy, no barking.
Well, you're barking at, little man. You better quit. Them kids walk to school every morning at the same time.
You just letting them know, Buggy. You just letting them know.
Yeah. He's doing that low bark so I don't yell at him. You're quitting it because of Bullseye? What's Bullseye? Is that a person or something like that? You know there is a block button on there, Latoya. Just block them.
Yep.
Hey, 3 nights. How are you, buddy?
If I had to quit my YouTube channel from trolls, I would have quit 10 years ago. You just block them.
Me too. Yeah. Sampy, what's up, brother? I think I missed you coming in. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't listen to them, honey. Just block them. That's what I do. Or else I just go back and I start messing with them. It don't matter to me one way or the other. If they want to be stupid, I'll start messing with them. I'll break out my thesaurus and my dictionary and use big words on their ass. Let's see. I don't see any orders on
Yeah,
the
I pretty much make them cry. I'm pretty good at roasting people. So
Yep.
when they
Yep.
fire the first shot, and then I pretty much make them cry, and they can't
Yep.
ever come back from it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I get ruthless and talk about their grandmother and their mom and their dead uncle. I don't care. If you come in there starting it, then yeah, it's game on.
No, for a guy, it's where you hit them hard is you call them broke.
Yeah, yeah. Hell,
That is the one thing. If you tell them they're broke, oh man, then it's like you talked about their mama.
yeah, especially out there, I'll bet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're here in Indiana. Hell, everybody's broke here. It's just part of the lifestyle these days.
Well, no, it's these kids that think
Yeah.
that they're big time.
Yep. Yep.
It's not the adults. Like it's the kids that act like they're all that. And they call them
The
broke.
ones I've had them getting on me for recently is what my generation done to the earth. How we ruined the earth.
Well, Earth is fine.
Well, I always laugh about it and say, when I was your age, we were worried about an ice age. Actually, I just read a thing about the blizzard of 78, and they were talking about that it was the start of a possible ice age coming.
Yeah, it's all baloney.
100%. Yeah, it's all BS.
Like I said, people told us that Hitler died in World War II by the Russians, and then come to find out he lived a full life in Argentina. I had 2 daughters.
With social media these days, they control the narrative so much that it's impossible to convince people that, hey, they're lying to you. Okay, how many doctors did they ruin who were trying to say, wait a minute, this COVID stuff they're treating, the way they're going about treating this is wrong? I remember an early video when that happened was a group of about 10 doctors or scientists, one of the two, and they made a press conference and they were all standing out there, and it was a black lady. She was either a doctor or a scientist. She was from, I think, South Africa originally. She had an accent. But for one, the video disappeared real quick, and then people there you never heard because they canceled them on social media, flat out canceled them. And they were trying to warn everyone that what they're telling you is bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. Scientists did a study where 70% of the population is hypnotized, like they can be hypnotized.
Yep.
Only 30% ask questions, and they're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. So you get it's programming. They watch the main news or whatever, and then they take the programming and they believe it. And you strike fear into people. And like I said, they'll give up all their freedoms for fear.
Yeah, for safety, in theory, for their safety. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's not the government's job to protect me from myself or from anybody else. The police job is to clean up the mess afterwards. Their job is to protect you, because otherwise you'd have to have a cop on every street.
If you can learn to unprogram yourself from the programming that they feed you and just start asking questions, you wouldn't believe the stuff you find.
The stuff I hear these people say, the young people, especially the college young people, the stuff I hear them say just blows me away. I'm like, do you honestly believe that what you are saying? What you are saying?
Listen to what they're saying, Buggy. It's all the mainstream media talking points, and they're just repeating.
Yeah,
they're programmed.
It's all exactly. You're right. They're programmed, and the bad part is it's starting in the primary schools now, and then continuing on into college.
Because you got these blue-haired teachers that are programming them.
Yep.
I remember back in the day when a girl looked like a tomboy, she was a tomboy.
Was being developed in DC, so the curriculum was going to be one that they could use for their advantage.
But it was okay to be a tomboy as a girl when I was a kid. Now, if you're a tomboy as a girl, these teachers are going to convince you that you're the wrong sex.
Exactly. Instead of just a tomboy who wants to play sports. Yeah. And the one that gets me, they talk about, being gay or transsexual, whatever. I don't care about any of that, but leave the stuff out of elementary and junior high schools. There's no place for it. You should not be talking to a first grade student about any kind of do with sex or sexual orientation or anything. Leave it alone. Let them play with big gyms and have a good time and be a kid. Let them be a kid.
Yeah, that's just common sense you're talking. That's out the window.
Oh yeah. Common sense and logical thinking are gone, let alone reasoning.
Yeah.
And you can tell it when you go to like a fast food restaurant or whatever. Go in there and say, I would like this sandwich, but instead of the fries, I want X or whatever. Well, we can't do that because it doesn't come with it. Now, wait a minute. You can do it even though it doesn't come on your thing. Just charge me the difference then. Oh, we can't do that. No, the word can't is ingrained in your mind, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm in a fast food place, and it's been about a year. I try to stay away from them because it's just so bad for you.
Yeah. Well, the bad part is everything I've gotten in the last 3 times, like usually it's pot pies from KFC, or else I go to Bob Evans and get, a dinner to go. But for instance, the KFC I pull up to, every time I'll pull up and say, I want 2 pot pies. Well, we only have one every 20 minutes. So, and I'm like, well, when you got down to 1, wouldn't you think maybe you would have put some more in?
I'm sorry.
Down to 2, wouldn't you have put more in?
Well, yeah, but they have the best
potatoes. I said, that's okay, I'll wait.
You can give me a gallon, Buggy, of KFC mashed potatoes and gravy, and I will eat that. That to me, that's the best.
Yeah, I like their pot pies are awesome, man. But I went to Bob Evans the other day, and I get the same thing every time. Get a country fried steak gravy, and you get a side of whatever, and one of this you can get bread or biscuits. We'll always get biscuits. Then I order an extra thing of gravy, and I'll pay for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Then I have the country fried steak and gravy for dinner, but I save the biscuits and that other gravy, and I have biscuits and gravy the next morning. So I go pick up my order, which is probably 25 minutes over and 25 back. And this is when our power was out after the tornadoes. And I get all the way home and I open the bag and there's one thing of gravy and it's only about a quarter of the way full. I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me.
Yeah, but
So,
it just went right through the roof.
yeah, for one, when I get back, it's going to be cold and I have no means of heating it up because the power's off. I drove back and I was like, you got to be kidding me, lady. Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm like, well, I'm assuming it is. I said, but I tipped you very well even for just loading a bag up and sending and carrying it over here to the counter. You know what I'm like? Jesus Christ. Every time I order something somewhere, they order, and I'm just gonna have to stop and look before I pull off from now
That's
on.
what I do. Before I even leave the drive-through window, I look in the bag and make sure everything's in there.
Yeah,
I learned
I'm
my
gonna have to start doing that.
yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna have to start doing that too. But it just, well, for one, the Bob Evans thing, I've never had a problem. It's always been spot on. In fact, the time before that, they gave me 2 country fried steaks. I was like, get out of here. Heck yeah.
Well, that sounds good. I haven't had a country fried steak in a long time.
Yeah, that's my favorite, man, bar none.
Especially you get a good crisp on that batter.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. Country fried steaks, the greatest with gravy. Yep. But I don't understand what I don't know. It's work ethic or something. Something's wrong with the world in the country.
Where do I start?
Yeah, exactly. I blame it on when they done away with shop class and home ec, which I took home ec for the simple fact it was all chicks in there. You kidding me? Heck yeah, I'll take that class any day.
It was a requirement, but yeah, it was all chicks, but it was a requirement back when I was in school. You had to go to
Oh,
home
really?
ec.
No kidding. Yeah, it wasn't required at my school, but I took it just because you got to eat, and I think I had it first period one time, so we would get high on the way to school, and then they'd cook food, and we'd get to eat it. We'd have the munchies, so it worked out perfect.
That is a perfect situation there.
Yes, sir. And then shop class. I mean, hell, everybody had shop class. I took, I don't know. Well, junior and senior year, I went to the Career Center for metal fabrication and welding, which I wouldn't want to do it for a living, but I enjoy working with metal. In fact, I enjoy it a lot. I haven't done it for a long time, but I still can.
Yeah, I never learned how to weld. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, when I was a kid, we like our dune buggy we literally bought a Volkswagen and rolled the body off of it and used that chassis and built a dune buggy off of it. You know what I mean? And we built it in the garage. Dad welded everything himself. Actually, he welded it with a oxyacetylene torch and used coat hangers as welding rods and never broke a weld.
huh.
I just got a text. Well, we got about 15 minutes or so.
I don't know where Curtis and Eric are at.
I don't know. I got Curtis's bag of M&M's sitting here. I ain't decided whether I'm going to send them to him yet or not. See, hey Curtis, I know you're out there. Look at this. Ooh, baby. It's the big, what does it say on it? It's the family bag. Uh-huh.
The family bag. That's a little appetizer for him.
Yeah, exactly. That's like 2 mouthfuls and he's done. Oh, Eric. Yeah, Eric was in there. He's got warehouse duty today.
Sound like backbreaking work. Curtis is probably just probably sleeping, having nightmares about Aaron Rodgers again. I don't know.
I just thought J Dog said Friday night a semi got hit by a semi or something in their car. I'm getting a story about it now. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, this coffee is amazing today. All right. 3030. What kind of coffee is it? Folgers or Maxwell House? I do have some coffee in there. It's called JoJo's Coffee. Uh, I ordered it in the bean and I grind it up. But I discovered it at a Georgetown Market in Indianapolis.
So did you give up the Red Bull for coffee now, or what?
No, but I should. I still have the coffee. Actually, I usually make it with a coffee press. And I don't know, do coffee beans go stale or get old or whatever if you haven't ground them up and you keep them sealed? Do I?
I don't know. It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It tastes the same to me each time. In fact, I may have to have a cup of coffee this morning now that I talked myself into it.
I started on coffee and then I switched to energy drinks and never went back to coffee.
Yeah, I need to go back to it, to be honest with you. Sure be a lot cheaper. Wow. Wow. Here's what J Dog says. He was driving the Tennessee River and a semi hit us in the side and almost spun us all the way around, but I saved it. Huh.
I'll never
Hey,
forget one
there's a lawyer that advertises on TV here that specializes in semi wrecks. If you get
Well,
hit by a
anyway,
semi,
dude, if you get in a car accident, get a lawyer. It doesn't cost you anything, and then
yep,
they get cut at the end.
exactly.
You're leaving money. You're leaving like thousands of dollars if you don't do that.
Yep, especially if it's a semi. Anything that's commercial like that, for one, they're going to pay you to go away usually.
Or just a vehicle accident.
Yep. You know, my dad had this little, oh, what was it? A little Suzuki station wagon. He always dug these little goofy ass little cars for some reason. But one side of it had a dent in the passenger door, right? Well, someone hits mom and grandma in it one time on the same door that already had the dent in it, mind you. And when they turn it into the insurance company totaled it. Okay, well, I forget. I think he had borrowed money to buy it or something from the credit union. But anyway, when it was all said and done, the car got paid off. He got to keep the car, plus he got a check for $2,500, which is almost what he paid for it to begin with.
That's phenomenal, dude.
Yeah,
My semi accident was I was at a stoplight and a semi went to my right and then decided to turn. And for some reason, it didn't see my car. And so the trailer part of it started ripping my roof off. And I will never forget that sound
oh, I bet.
of metal like just snapping and twisting and glass breaking. I thought I was going to die.
Heck yeah, I'd have freaked out laying in the seat hoping it didn't drop down in there.
Oh man, or flip over on top of us, dude. Just the
Yep.
sound, like I said, the sound is what will forever haunt me. The metal just twisting and breaking, and then the glass and
Have you
yeah,
ever been in a car wreck where you like hit something and you were moving? You know what I mean?
yeah,
The sound that makes, that solid, I can't even you can't describe it, but if you've ever heard it, you'll never forget it.
yeah, dude. I jumped out of that car, brushed all the glass off of me, and just charged that dude.
I would have had to wipe my pants clean first.
No, I was pissed.
Oh,
I
I
had
bet.
my girlfriend in the car. He wouldn't get out of his truck though until the cops got there.
I had a chance one time to get hit by a Pepsi truck, but I sped up and it was on the passenger side. And I look back and think, man, I should have just let that truck hit me. Are you kidding me? He was in the wrong and I'd have cleaned up.
Are you talking to me, Bud?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, he said him and Tara were in the car and they're both all right.
One time I got a whiplash. I got what, $15,000 just for
Really?
whiplash. Yeah, it's got an attorney.
You know, I messed up when I was in the Army. We were sitting at a stoplight and a little Chevy S10 truck and a major rear-ended us. And the truck had a sliding glass window in the back, you know what I mean? A little opening there. But the
Yeah.
window came out of the truck and hit us in the back of the head.
Oh shit! Jeez.
Oh, I know. I should have sat there and said, "Don't touch me. I'm hurt. I need an ambulance." And I didn't even think about it.
You weren't hurt, dude.
Oh, yeah, it did knock the crap out of us. You know what I mean? But I look back and think there's so many times I could have been rich.
And these injury attorneys, like I said, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
They're cut at the end, but it's really not that much.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, back then they didn't advertise like they do now or anything. But I look back on that one there. I should have probably, you know, went to the hospital and done the whole thing because it hit us hard. He hit us hard, man.
For my recent incident for my neck injury currently that happened in 2020, I'm asking for $5 million.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, when you get that, can I borrow 50 grand?
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever need money, man, for anything, let me know.
All right, I'll hit you up on that 50 to buy me a boat when I retire in 2 years. You get a couple million.
There you go.
But yeah, the Pepsi truck, and that happened. I don't know, probably 25 years ago, and I still have never forgot the fact that, man, dude, if you had not stepped on that gas, you'd be rich right now.
Dude, it's Pepsi, so they have deep pockets too.
Exactly, and he was dead in the wrong 100%, and I would have been in like Flynn, and I kick myself in the ass every time. Like, damn it, man, why didn't you do that? But I was thinking about my survival and my safety, you know what I mean? It was the first thought. So naturally, I just
Absolutely.
got out of the way instead of maybe rolling forward enough where he just would have hit the back of the car and spun me around.
Gabe, in 2 years, that boat will be 80 grand. I know, right?
What's that? The boat I want to buy?
That's what downtown Ernie Brown says. Yep. Inflation, man.
Yep. No, the ones I've been looking at are about 10 or 11 grand. You know, I'm just looking at used, you know, already built.
Even out here, dude, for 10 or 11 grand, you can get a decent boat out here.
Yeah. I just want a pontoon houseboat to stay on in the summertime.
And where I live, people are always upgrading boats, so they sell their old boats. You can get, my buddy Randy got one for $2,000, and it was in nice condition.
Okay, River Rat, I'll go to your channel and look at that because I was going to actually send you an email or a thing on Facebook and ask you how you use it. So that works out perfect, actually. I'm going to start out with the grape rice thing or whatever it is. I'm not going to use the bird seed one. I'm saving it for later in the summer when the bite's better. Who on panel downtown? That's downtown Ernie Brown. $48 grand. Yep. But I'm not looking at anything super fancy, you know what I mean? I don't need that. I just want something. I'd like, if I get it, even if I got to pay more, I want to get something with a 4-stroke motor.
Yeah, but dude, if you get just the average pontoon, like it's really not that much. If you want to go inside and deck it out,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not expensive. You can put like what do you call them? Lights in there.
Yeah, I've watched a couple videos on guys building them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or even the ones that trick out like they're gonna live in their van or whatever. How they
Yeah.
trick out, and it's really not that expensive.
Oh no, not at all. Especially when you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah, I mean they're putting sofas in there, new flooring, new walls. They put TVs in there and sofa. Not nothing huge, but it's still you can
Sign me
definitely.
up, Sandy Toes. I'm in. We're gonna tan together in our retirement. Heck yeah. I don't like tan lines though, so
You gotta be in your birthday suit, Buggy.
exactly. I have problems realizing that I'm older too now. I mean,
Oh,
building up myself 20 years ago wouldn't have been a thing. You know what I mean? But I'm not real sure physically if I can do that still.
every
I'm
morning
sure I
when I
probably
get out of
could.
bed,
I would have to have help along the way.
yeah, dude. When I get out of bed every morning, I have the constant reminder of how old I am.
Yep, I used to until February 7th, and now I don't even. I mean, my knee doesn't hurt at all anymore. I'm stoked.
Oh
My
man,
shoulders are still my
my,
shoulders are still messed up, even though I had surgery, but they're still jacked. Yep. But and I'm not going to have the surgery again. You know what I mean? I know one of them, the rotator cuff's tore again, and I'm not even nope, not even thinking about it.
yeah, I have a Gmail. Tanya, of course.
Freckle lines? Oh, I think freckles are cool. Heck yeah. I like freckles on them. Yes, I do.
Especially on redheads.
Yep. I think they're cool. Yes, I do. Okay, we're going to shut this down here in about 3 minutes, guys.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
got
go to
work
bed.
to do,
So, timing.
and I appreciate y'all hanging out today. And I won't see y'all again until Friday, probably, maybe Wednesday, but I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather be busy and working than I would have time to do the show on Wednesday. We'll just have to see because I could use 2 more appraisals right now. Actually, 4 a month more than covers my overhead. Well, maybe 6 now because I'm actually going to pay taxes this time. I'll tell you a story sometime, Gabe. I can't tell it online because it could be used against me in a court of law.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. And the other thing, don't ever call them on the phone to ask a question because they'll ask you a bunch of questions and you'll start getting your letters again telling you how much you owe them. I don't know what I was thinking, man. They had lost track of me and didn't know where I was. I'm like, fuck, man, what did you just do? I knew when she asked me my social security number, I was like, shit. But it's stuff I need to get cleared up before I retire anyway.
As long as you clear it up, they're pretty lenient.
Oh,
They'll even give you like 20 years to fucking pay any back taxes. As long as you're making
I'm
payments.
not paying them. I'm not paying them. The last 2 years, total income, the last 2 years, $14,000.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're in tax trouble, like they will work with you.
Yeah,
Like they'll
well,
put
see,
you on 20-year plan.
I've done my own offer and compromise back in 05 or something like that, okay? And in that one there, I had a payment set up at 800 and something a month because the year I filed it, this is before the real estate crash, work was pretty decent. I think I made like 72 grand or whatever. So they based my payment on that. Well, in March of 07 or so, the real estate crisis was starting to happen, but it wasn't mainstream yet. But in the mortgage industry, it was already happening. They had already shut down mortgages. Nobody was writing them, and I wasn't doing any work at all.
Yeah, I lost my job during that time.
So, am I going to send the IRS that 800 and some a month, or am I going to pay my rent and live? You know what I mean? So I quit making payments. I had talked to them about amending the payment to a
Yep.
different amount because of the economy or whatever, and they wouldn't even talk to me about it. And I was like, okay, thanks. That's all I need to know. And I never sent them another payment.
Huh.
But see, now I'm what's known as non-collectible because I don't have anything. I don't
Right.
own anything, and I haven't made any money in 2 years.
You've been taking care of your dad and stuff. I mean, you can write that. You can just tell them that, and they'll leave you alone.
Well, it's going to go away is what I'm going to file an offer and compromise as non-collectible, and then they will. The thing is, you got to make sure you're up to date on all your tax returns, which I just got that way this month because I had a couple years back I hadn't filed yet.
Dude, I did that. You remember that WWE wrestler IRS?
Yeah.
Or side, he would go in the ring and he'd say, "Listen here, all you tax cheats."
Yep, that's me.
Dude, I used to love that, bro.
Present and accounted for, Your Honor. Well, and it used to bother me until I found out we're sending X amount of millions of dollars a week to Afghanistan, to Hamas and them. We're literally sending them money every week to build stuff to kill us. And we left them a whole supply of a military battalion worth of stuff,
Yeah, we're getting it
tanks,
back.
guns, everything. They left it all there.
Yeah, because of stupidity.
Yeah, I just, in a different time, in a different place, they would be in jail for how they handled that withdrawal.
Hey, don't count that out yet.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Sandy Toes. Okay, guys, we're going to shut this thing down. I enjoyed it. Sorry I can't hang out and chat all day, but I actually got to be a responsible adult again as much as I hate it. And I will be back Friday, and I'll probably see y'all in Catfish Weekly tonight if y'all come in there. It's a lot of fun. And other than that, have a wonderful day.
Have a good day, everyone.